And of course, let me say a special hello to all the WZY 95.9 FM listeners. We are back with you. It's in the village with the dark triplets on WZY 95.9 FM. And folks, we are starting a little early today. So in a few seconds at the top of the hour, I'm going to have to go for a station identification. But, I know you're going to stay with us. Of course, it's us, the dark triplets. That's Diana, Ansem, and Gary. And we have a person, what else called the outside child. You know how that does go, right? So in a few seconds, in absolutely 2 seconds, we're going to go for a station identification. 95.9 FM, Maplewood, New Jersey, broadcasting from Essex County. You're listening to WZYE. And of course, we are back with you. Let me bring in 1/3 of the dark triplets here. Let me see if I could get her in here. Yo! Diana 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗵𝗏, boy.
You have it backward. It's 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗏 𝗪𝗏𝗬𝗏.
Wait. Nah. You didn't, I thought you tell me it was Diana 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗏𝗏.
No, you've been going that way, so I just let you run with it. But my legal first name is 𝗪𝗶𝗎.
𝗪𝗶𝗎.
Yeah, my middle name is Diana. But the kids used to tease me and call me Wayne when I was a little child and tell me that I'm a boy, I'm a boy, I'm a boy. So I would end up in
Okay.
fights. So my
All right.
grandmother said, "We'll just call you Diana, so you don't beat up people children no more."
All right. We have Don Julio in, boy. Don Julio, is this the first time you joining us, my friend? We already have T. Trini Lopez from Orlando, Florida. He's already in the house. And Don Julio, where you joining us from, my friend? Just put it in the chat where you joining us from. We welcome everyone. Let me bring in Tommy here. Tommy, stop playing with your toy, man. Stop playing with your toys. Yeah, I catch the man with the hands down, but Don
Ooh.
Julio, where you from? East Orange, boy. East Orange in the house, boy. Don Julio from East Orange in the house, right next door, boy. Don Julio, welcome, my friend. Welcome. It's in the village with the dark triplets, of course. When we say dark, it's Diana and someone Gary. We ain't really have no name for Tommy yet. But Diana, let's call him the outside child. I always call him.
From
Yeah.
Diana looking so dapper.
Eh? You find so?
Men are dapper, women are
I
not
find
dapper.
okay, beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful.
Maybe
all
I'm
Yeah.
right.
going out on a date after.
Wow.
You have a date?
I'm coming to
Ain't
New
Anybody
so,
that night?
Jersey.
ain't so she going on, ain't so she gulping with that straw, man.
I'm coming to New Jersey.
Yeah, okay. You're coming, you're traveling or you're coming to New Jersey?
I'm coming to New Jersey. And I'll be
I,
driving there.
oh, well, then you're traveling to New Jersey. You'll be driving to New Jersey. All right, yeah, that's what we want to, that's what we're talking about. You know what I mean? And because sometimes I just can't
I
understand
ain't
the thing.
going nowhere. I just trying to look good for you, for my listeners and your viewers. Come on.
Oh, that is it. All right. You can't beat that. You can't beat that at all. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
And of
You
course,
know, the,
we have one of our
go ahead.
loyalists, Gayatri up in Virginia. She already checked in with us.
Mhm.
And listener, we don't mind if we have 5 loyalists. That is it. 5. And listen to this, right? You know, someone else was listening to the show for the first time last week. And well, no, I don't think it was the first time. And they said, boy, that was so good what you guys did with respect to that young lady. And it was so fantastic for Foster Cummins to act immediately and send some relief to that young lady. I mean, the person say, boy, he said, and Slim, all you need to do more of that, All you need to get more young ladies like that young lady, bring them on the program, and assist them. And I think he's correct. I think he's correct because there's no other programs in Trinidad and Tobago really doing it. And part of what we do here is to make difference in the lives of the unfortunate. Those are disadvantaged, those that are voiceless. And that's part of what we do here in the village with the dark triplets on WZY 95.9 FM.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So of course, um, uh, Diana and Tommy, I don't know if all you see it there, but
A mistake
good.
again?
Yeah, a mistake again.
Just
Diana, uh,
Aslam,
uh,
Aslam,
uh,
you have to overlook the mathematical error.
but you know, and the,
Ah,
you know, for the life of me, right? And I thought that, being that I brought it to their attention, what they will do, they will go line by line, letter by
Proofread.
letter, and number by number, and
Yes.
proofread.
Yeah.
proofread it at least.
But they
So,
don't,
Oh,
they
well.
know, no, they don't want you to help them. They want to continue in their vein.
You see, Aslam, what you know, they don't know. They don't know that excellence is the ability to pay attention to details. They don't know that.
Tommy, 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 let me toot my horn.
Mm.
When I worked at the New York Stock Exchange, I worked in some of the four top departments at the New York Stock Exchange. One was enforcement, another one was market surveillance, next one was regulatory quality review, and the next one was member firm regulations. So we were responsible for all those members of the New York Stock Exchange. We had to go and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do, right? So a little one-page document like this one, a one-page document like this one, right?
Mm.
You know, with you call them unforced errors,
Mm.
right?
Aslam,
And then we have the Jackie Lazarus, right?
Mm.
Telling me about I stink, and she will like my
Mhm.
attitude. Jackie, what? If you, Jackie Lazarus, had taken the report before it go out, right? It wouldn't have these mistakes again. Not only that one, you know, it's two of them, you know.
Mm.
Two of them,
Mm.
mistake alone. And listen, Stephen Reese actually point out, look, Stephen Reese actually went line by line for them. The man say, I went St. Anthony's and St. George's College. And in both schools, the math and logic was the same. Maybe he learned different. Maybe he learned different. So we had 11 deaths for the period 7th to May 11th, right? 7 deaths. Now we have 21
Yeah.
deaths for the period May 9th to May 12th. Lord Father, all I can say, Lord Father, please put a hand, right? We had 615 cases for the period May 7th to May 11th. Now we have 397 cases for the
Oh
period
my
May 8th
God.
to May 12th.
Oh my God.
I mean,
well,
and before them say, boy, and Slim Boy, thank you so much for bringing it to our attention 2 days ago, right? I brought it to their attention 2 days ago, and they didn't learn.
it's a cultural problem.
Nah, what kind of
There,
excuse is that, Tommy?
there are
Cultural?
yes, there are no consequences for doing the wrong thing. As a matter of fact, you get rewarded for doing the wrong thing. You have to think. You talked about your experiences, and I think about my experiences as a computer professional. Anytime if I made and when I made an error, it was costly. So it was my duty to make sure that I did what was the right thing by being very meticulous and double, triple, quadruple checking everything you did before you go live with it.
But Tommy, Tommy, look how easy this is. You're gonna put the COVID dashboard is for May 12th, right?
Mm-hmm.
But down at the bottom there, you going from May 7th to May 11th. How,
Mhm.
oh, what? You know? Yeah. Oh
It
God.
right, logic doesn't make sense in this case. It's just
Mhm,
let's put something out there to make sure
mhm.
that we keep them on their toes and that they definitely would adhere to the protocol. So as long as
Yeah.
they know that things are bad and getting worse by the second, they're gonna follow protocol, and
Yeah,
that's the goal.
but the
So
but
so
the dissemination of misinformation that leads to panic and fear, and you know,
That's what
people,
that's
yeah, you
that's
can't.
that's what they want. What do you think they want? Come on.
Mm. That is not a responsible thing to do, and then
Right?
especially in dealing with numbers as far as a health, a global pandemic, a health emergency. You have to be
Well,
accurate.
well,
I mean,
that's why it's called third world, and we can clearly see that leadership is in jeopardy.
But Tommy and Diana, I thought that being that I get called all kind of names privately for trying to help them, I figured that
mhm.
since I put all you on notice, all you go double check and triple check that report because that report is a very important report in Trinidad and Tobago today.
Yep.
You know,
That has
Anselm,
everything to yeah.
shifting gears. I
Mm,
saw you put up the body cam comment, and
mm,
I clearly remember about almost a year ago, one of my brothers called SF on the morning show
mm.
and was talking about the same thing, and he was, I mean, she reamed him, So
Huh?
you don't ever try to talk about anything that would improve the life or any or anything that makes good sense, because nobody wants to hear that in a position of authority. They just want to continue in their old ways, be it
Mm,
right or wrong,
mm,
and so it
mhm.
is.
So
But
I
I
listen and
saw
say,
over the
go ahead.
weekend where
Mm.
they there was another extrajudicial killer, and they just throw the guy in the trunk like they throw a dead pig or a dead goat or something in the back of the police car, and I found that to be so troubling.
Yep.
They didn't even put him in a body bag. They just picked him up like you would pick up a dead carcass of an animal and toss it in the back of the police vehicle. And I said, I mean, that was so troubling to me.
As long as we
Uh,
focus on Trinidad and Tobago, we'll have something all the time to to be commenting on and to be addressing. Trust me, it's just that's just the way it is.
That was very troubling
but
to
but
me.
but 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 you know something, Tommy and Diana, right? When we look at the United States, right? Normally, Trinidad and Tobago tends to follow the United States, right? Even when something bad happened with the black youths on the streets, the police don't pick. The police is not responsible to dump them in a jeep, like a sack of potato,
Mhm,
and just
Potatoes,
dump them and go and take them and carry them wherever. You don't know what they could go and do with them,
mhm,
absolutely.
right? You supposed to have paramedics come in. As a matter of fact, you're supposed to have paramedics dedicated to the police. So whenever anything happens, those paramedics should be on call 24/7. But you see, I just say we in Trinidad and Tobago, right? We just only talk about certain things, or we just talk about is either the opposition party, you talk against the
mhm,
PNM, you talk against the UNC, and that is it, right?
Right.
mhm,
Nothing else,
mhm,
nothing else. We don't care. And then listen to this, you know, I want people from Trinidad and Tobago to think a little more critically.
mhm,
Now, people see the video I put up when the police was running the guy and them. The video was from a few months ago. But I wanted to
mhm,
show them that, listen, that is what's happening today in Trinidad and Tobago. It's the same thing,
mhm.
the same exact thing. All of what is just, and boy, and we partner PS, not the permanent secretary. PS, but
Ah,
hey, I don't know, boy, I don't know. Anyhow, Gary saying, um,
Foster
Pastor
Cummins.
Cummins' office rescheduled for Friday with the lady,
Yeah.
right? That's okay.
Mhm,
Keisha, good night to you. To Keisha, good night to you.
mhm. Good night,
And
Keisha.
yeah, we also got Zahir. We got a hamper from Zahir to send to her on Saturday, which is wonderful.
All right, all
Yeah,
right.
of course, we have
I think she Says she got some small change from yo, sorry, child.
Right, yeah, Don Julio saying, does it also not the last 24 hours from May 12th? Yeah, yeah. Boy, welcome, of course, Gary, welcome. We go get Gary inside just now. You know, whoa, it's unbelievable. Yeah, boy, done. It's whoa in truth, boy. Yeah, and Steve Chuni Lopez say hello to Gary. And you know the thing about it, boy, is that we don't want to learn from mistakes. Say, all right, when I put it up, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. All right, fine. Only get the benefit of the doubt. But all you come today, Cindy, Tommy, look a good friend, eh? I ain't gonna call she name. Yeah, all you come today and make the same mistake again, boy. Again, again, boy. That means something wrong. No, something wrong. Something wrong, boy. And all they want to do is criticize me for pointing out to them. And look at that. 2 days later, the same type, not one this time, two, back to back, boy.
Yep. And even Stephen Reese and all, he confused too.
He confused too.
Yep.
He confused too. I was even confused when I read what he put up. You understand? Imagine he confused. And other people confused too. Right? And listen to the point, this is the point. When you are making these mistakes over and over, people lose confidence in the information you are disseminating to them. Because it appears, listen carefully, it appears that your information is misleading. All you have to do, you get a report, put it in a database, right? And before you send it out, go to find, for example, find and put in, like if you know yesterday was the 11th and you know there's no 11 in there, put in find 11. And it go find if there is a 11 in the report for you. So you know you had to change it. Simple. It's not that difficult. Right? But all they don't listen. All they too hardened. You remember when you're growing up? They say you're too hardened.
Stick brick in your head. Stick brick
in
your head.
Yeah.
Beijing to say hard ears.
All right. Gary said denote will try to pick some food from Rose on Saturday also. Well, boy, yeah, boy. We really in the mix, boy. Don Julio said that's true. Yeah, stick breaking your ears, right? When people are trying to assist you to make you look good, you trying to make them look good like Jackie Lazarus telling me I stink. My behavior stink. It's your stink behavior. Jackie, watch, look, due to my stink behavior, only make the same mistake again.
It's your fault, that's Slim. It's your fault.
It's my fault. It's my stink behavior. Why Jackie Lazarus and I'm making the same mistake over and over? Somebody sing this song. I fed up at the same thing over and over. I fed up at the same thing over. Huh?
Benjai.
Benjai. I gotta get that song. Benjai, boy. Benjai fed up. No, people fed up because the people want to think now, right? Or they're misleading people. But wait now, Takesha, right, listen to this. Listen to this. Takesha said, hey, if you can't get a COVID dashboard report correct, what could you get correct? Listen, I tell them, I send an expert, I say, only give me the work, Give me the work. I could do that work remotely, right? I could do that work remotely. Don't worry. School just
but careful on Slim. They're gonna say you're begging for work and you ain't getting it. That's why you're vexed now.
No, I'm begging. I'm begging for the work. I'm begging.
That's why you're vexed now.
I'm begging. Only give me the work. I want the work.
You validated the narrative, Slim.
No, I'm gonna fix it for them. I want to fix the thing because it's my party. I want them to look good. I don't want Jackie Lazarus call me stink no more. I don't want to be a stink P&M no more. I want to be a clean P&M.
Oh, well, I
can't
better
be a
be careful. She don't jump on me and call me stink 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗏.
Yeah, well, I know the same about you in private, you know that. Don't tell me.
I really don't care. I don't care.
Mm. Yeah,
I don't live at none of them, and I don't ask none of them for nothing, and I don't know none of them. I don't care. And if they come at me on social media, I like to type, and I can type and spell correctly. Yeah, and I don't make stupid mistakes.
But yeah, listen, I telling them all, you listen. We do a lot. We doing classes remotely. So I just teach all these students remotely. All you send the report to me, and here what I go do. I go make sure 5 of my students check it 25 times. So all you know everything will be right, unless all you give me wrong numbers. if all you give me inaccurate numbers, it's trouble for me now. Right? And I won't be a stink P&M no more. I'm gonna be a proud P&M now. And that's what I want.
Your stink attitude.
Yeah, my stink attitude. I get rid of this stink attitude. Eh? So Jackie,
Yeah.
Jackie, you could get it work for me. You know the Prime Minister very well. You know what I mean? You have met with me privately in the past. You know what I mean? When the Prime Minister was up here and he come to my house and thing, you was there too. You was sitting on my couch in my living room. I don't know if you remember that. But if you forget, I have a photo I could, you know, jog your memory a little bit. Just in case. Yeah, boy, mouth open till you jump out, boy. Let me stop talking, eh? Let me stop talking,
Sit on your couch and things.
Let's welcome Nessie Lyons, boy. Nessie said third world country living up to their name, boy.
No.
That's a big job, boy. Nessie come in with a bang, boy. Third world country living up to their name, boy. I feel Nessie's a P&M, when she said that.
Someone was telling me that it's revealed they borrowed $80 billion from China.
No, it's not 80.
How much is it?
1.7.
1.7 billion?
Yeah, they borrow.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe the person.
But yeah, the good part of that, you know, China real good, you know. China say what? I'm gonna learn all of that. But all you have to buy 1.5 million vaccines from we, right? And we go sell all of them vaccine at like $15 or $20 a vaccine. So all they ain't really getting 1.7 billion, you know. But you know, all they see the idea get them out.
Yep.
Eh?
Yep.
Wait now, let me throw up the idea here. Because them don't listen to me no more, you know. Them don't listen to me. But if we have any of my P&M friends, other my P&M friends or online, all you forward this to the government for me, please. All right? I'll put this up today. Message to the TNT government, because plenty people in Trinidad might want to take Sinopharm because it's only 50-something% effective, right? So you have to give them incentive, right? So the government could start an incentive of 5 separate $1 million lotteries for those receiving COVID-19 vaccine, right? And it's simple. The money already there. Use the money from the Chinese loan. And what? Diana and Tommy, I bet you they go have long line in Trinidad and Tobago. I bet you they got a social distance like crazy.
You know your people.
Gary Griffith got to go out there.
You know your people.
But my concern is, Ansler, what is China gonna want for that 1.8 billion?
What do you mean what they want? What do you mean what they want?
Collateral. They gonna come back for something when you default on it, and they gonna Trinidad will default.
A pound of flesh they coming for.
Yeah, Shylock. Yeah, what it is they want.
A pound of flesh.
And look who's in charge of the energy sector.
Ooh. Well, you connecting the dots, bud.
Who's in charge of the energy sector? And you know, China does look at the port. Look who's in charge of the national security. The ports fall under who?
Both of you, my friends, you think Washington is gonna sit by idly and let all of that take place?
Well, I don't know. If they
Okay.
do anything on the underneath the table, I don't know. But look, who's in charge of the ports? Who's in charge of the ports?
Who in charge?
Whose ministry it falls under? Yeah.
It's not under. I think that's under Ministry of Works, you know.
Works and
Report.
transport.
Works and
Yeah, yeah,
transport. Okay.
yeah. I think that you answer on.
That's what I'm saying now. All right.
Yeah,
So
I have a picture
national
to release.
security and energy.
Yeah.
Water falls under what?
What says public utilities, I think. Minister of Public Utilities.
And what China usually does, and this is what I'm reading, they usually go after those sort of viable assets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they seize the port in Malaysia, right? Because where Malaysia is situated, they depend on the imports and stuff, right? So if nothing can't get there, people gonna starve, right? So they seize the port when they defaulted. Now,
Diana, I hear you, but we know we're gonna get a good manager in the name of Anselm Wall Street Le as the next prime minister. So he's sorted that out
but he
for
said
us.
he ain't going back there. He don't feel safe there.
You don't have a choice.
He's not going there.
No, I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back.
Yes, to rescue.
Unless my wife stops me.
Unless your wife.
You know,
if my wife was drinking mama. But I just give them my ideas. I listen. Let me tell them. All right, listen. If all they don't want to give the $1 million lottery, all you give the people free rides, maxis, or they will get free rides at maxis, right, to the vaccination point, and free rides back home. And we go give all you a quick pick ticket for Playway. One quick pick ticket. You understand? So when you're going in, you take your jab, you take your Sinopharm, right? You get free to the vaccination
They
thing.
want food. Trinidad they want food. I ain't going nowhere for no play with. I put myself in a Trinidadian woman now who have children to feed, and I don't have no work. I want food. So if you entice them with food, you entice them with something more tangible. Play with ticket. That's not a surety.
No, it might win something.
You gotta come better than that answer. Maybe if you come with some fake hair and nails and things.
Oh,
but they ain't going nowhere. There's nowhere to go. When you all get all dolled up.
Then you get women to take the vaccine. What about the men?
But listen to this. But listen to this seriously. All right, let me go to 250,000 then. Let me say now $1 million. 250,000. Right? We run a program, whether it's they only have 33,000 vaccine now, right? So only 15 or 16,000 people can get that. So we run a program for this 16,000, right? And we have a $250,000 lottery. Somebody go win $250,000. Somebody. Right? I guarantee all you. Half of Trinidad, because some of them who already take the vaccine already, right? Already take the 2 vaccine, go come back to see if they can get a 3rd one. You know what I mean? I know Trini is already. Anytime it's money, Trini come in to do it. As a matter of fact, Nessie says Trinidad will find a way to get the money and bribe the nurse doctor giving the vaccine.
Aslam. But you saw, I read somewhere today where it's been recommended for Sinopharm and vaccines of that sort that you take a 3rd shot to get the right level of immunity, because apparently 2 shots ain't doing it.
Well, boss, in United Emirates, right? And in Seychelles, stands for
Seychelles.
Seychelles. Thank you very much, Dan. Oh God, you know I type down sometimes. I can't pronounce this thing. Oh God, you know Schumacher still in me.
Seychelles.
So SAY shell.
No, yeah, right.
You see, well, I'm trying to fix Seychelles.
Seychelles.
Right. Shell, not shell. Not like
Seychelles. Yeah, like shell on the beach. Seychelles. Yeah.
All right, Seychelles.
Like Shell gas station.
Tommy, you're absolutely correct. Right? The reason why, right, there's a spike in COVID cases in there is because 60% of the people vaccinated there was vaccinated with Sinopharm. So many people now have to go and take a third dose because the first two ain't working too right. But I'm not telling people don't take the vaccine. Eh? I don't
Yeah.
want people to say, boy, you listen to the dark triplets and that fella telling people don't take the vaccine. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is for you to be informed in order for you to take the
Mhm.
vaccine. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling people whether to go or not go. All right?
But but
That is
but
up to
but,
you.
but watch it now. But watch it
Mm.
now. China is gonna hold that vaccine over Trinidad's head, and they're gonna be
Mm.
forced. That's what they're gonna have to take.
Mm.
Otherwise, the COVID thing gonna get out of hand down there. Or Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Raouli and Mr. Dayal Singh, they're gonna
Mm.
have to source find a source for other vaccines, or he gonna have to go begging, something he didn't want to
Mm.
say he's not gonna do, for
Mm.
vaccines. Because if China holds that deal that you talked about buying over the head and people ain't want to take it, they go expire. They have a
Right?
life. They have a shelf life, right?
Right. So
So
Nessie saying Seychelles and UAE herd immunity don't work. Right? But listen to this also. I hear this, and we're gonna bring in Daniel just now. I hear this, right? In order for us to reach herd immunity in Trinidad and Tobago, we have to vaccinate about 70% of the population, right? So that is about 800 to 900,000 people, right, in the population to get two jobs, right? So in order to get two jobs in the country, we need approximately $2.8 million, $2.8 million, 2.8 million vaccine, right?
Mhm.
Because if we get 1 million, we could only vaccinate 500,000, right? So if we
and
get 2.8, we could vaccinate the whole population. As
and
of
only
today,
605 people. Yeah.
right? As of today, we vaccinated. All right. Last time we spoke was 0.1% of the population, right? When are we gonna reach herd immunity? When? When? Let's bring in Daniel here. Daniel, welcome. You are on WZY 95.9 FM in the village with the dark triplets on WZY.
Hi,
Hi Daniel, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
Today is a great day. Diana is also with us, and Tommy is also with us. And
Hi, Daniel.
Daniel, no, I understand that you are in St. Vincent. Are you in St. Vincent?
No, I'm a Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know where I get that from. Maybe you have Vincentian parents. You know.
No, no.
What part of Trinidad are you from?
Point 14.
Point 14. Well, yeah. I remember Point 14 in the days when Point 14 had a very good soccer team called Point 14 Civic Center. Boy. And
Yeah, I run with Point 14 New Jets.
wait, you run now or you used
Well,
to?
I just finished college and I just came back home. But I still train with the club.
What
So
college you went
yeah,
to? What college did you
I
go
went to
to?
Wiley College in Marshall, Texas.
What? Yeah,
Yeah.
because nobody didn't tell you I was a runner too, you know.
Oh wow. Do you know 𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗵?
Of course I know Eric McCray. Tell
That is
Eric
my
McCray.
coach.
Oh, Eric McCray is your coach?
Yes.
When you talk to Eric, tell him you met a young man by the name, they know me as Leeborn, right?
Livon,
Yeah, Leeborn. They know me as Leeborn.
I will
Oh,
tell him.
that's real interesting. Yeah, I ran
Yeah.
for Trinidad many times in the past. I was one of Trinidad top
Wow,
half
that's
milers.
awesome.
Yeah, I was one of Trinidad top half milers back in the day. You know, I'm still running, still competing as usual.
That's good.
You know, yeah. So 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 how did Gary find you by the way?
I actually got from a friend who had came back home. I
Mm-hmm.
actually got a few emails from him,
Mm-hmm.
and Gary's email was in there. And when I had sent an email to them, he ended up reaching out to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how I befriended Gary.
Okay. So how did
Yeah.
things go with the exemption and everything in order for you to get back home?
I it honestly didn't went bad because I was working with my OPT, and
Mm-hmm.
it ended February month end, so I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to get out of the country within a time period, and
Mm.
it probably took me like a week
Mm.
to get through with my exemption. I mean, I along with other folks, we experienced some difficulties at the airport, but we ended up getting on the flight, which
Mm.
is good. So
Well, and you know what's important, and Tommy and Dan, you can jump in whenever you want to. Daniel, what we are interested in, we're not interested in the only just interested in those people who have been stranded, but we want to also tell success stories too as well. You
yeah,
know, people who actually, and to see that the process is becoming much better,
yeah,
right? There's improvement in the process, and we
yeah,
think that's very, very important. That I mean, when we had the last Minister of National Insecurity there, things were very difficult,
mhm,
right? So send this new minister came in, things
right,
seem to be flowing much quickly,
yeah,
and
yeah,
people are getting
definitely,
exemptions.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for just being able to get an exemption because of the fact that there are a lot of folks who, have been waiting months and so forth. So, kudos to Gary who assisted me and as well as some other persons who, helped me talk to other links as well. Just being back home, it's always good to be back home, especially being in another country. And then with the fact of being out of a job, it would have been difficult for me to see about myself. So just being able to come back home in a time that was, perfect for me is what I'm grateful for.
And you have to quarantine when you get back to Trinidad. You have to quarantine.
I did, yeah. I quarantined at Valsaint, UTT.
Hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't bad either. I mean,
Hmm.
in terms of the space that we had to move about, it was not, large.
Hmm.
So we didn't really do much, or we didn't have much space to at least get some air outside because of the boundaries they had set for us. So most of the times, I was in my room, but I mean, it was good. It's better to at least, be away from everyone as we was self quarantining. But everyone in the camp was negative, and we were able to go home. So that's the good thing about that part.
So how do you feel now that COVID-19 cases are kind of rising in Trinidad? How do you feel now? You kind of left a place where they had COVID-19 under control, and
Yeah.
you go to a place where it seemed to be, you know, it
Yeah.
seemed to be on the upswing, so to speak.
I mean, well, I came from New York actually, so
Mm.
they had like the most cases, and I guess around the time that I left, cases were bad, but not as extreme as it was in the past. I believe this week New York opened back up,
Hmm.
which is good. And moving back to Trinidad, and now I'm experiencing COVID with a rise in cases. It's kind of dramatic for me. To be honest, I was sick like a few weeks ago, right? Didn't know what I had because I went to the hospital to get tested just to see, to confirm if I had COVID or not. When I went there, I had to wait a while, a good few hours. When I told the nurse, okay, I came to get a COVID test, she was like, well, I told her one day I remember being sick badly because I had a lot of aches and pains. And then the other few days I felt, a little much better, but it's still safe to go take the COVID test. But she said, since I don't have, any dramatic symptoms, it makes no sense getting the COVID test. And, she explained, oh, that is going to be a long wait or whatever. So I said, okay. I went back the following week to get tested again because, I needed to make sure because I don't want to have COVID in my system and then I have to get the vaccine. I still wasn't able to get tested. Up till this day, I haven't got tested. And I remember someone that I was in contact with who had gotten sick as well. And, I waited, since I didn't get tested, I waited for them to get their results. At least, that way I know, okay,
Hmm.
I would have been able to know, okay, if they tested positive for COVID, and from that, I'll judge myself. So they did tested positive for COVID, and the only thing that I could assume is that, okay, yes, I had COVID. I mean, I took necessary precautions because my family as well did not get sick because of the social distancing and me wearing mask in my own house and, quarantining as well. But I mean, with that part, it was just really, poor. I mean, I came there for a reason, just so that, I could avoid coming in contact with other persons as well. And just me going there, up till this day, I still was not able to get a COVID test, which I didn't like, So I just had to wait on, the results from my friend to confirm, what I had or whatever the case was. So, yeah.
So if you were going to take a test, would you have to pay for the test?
No, the testing was free. If I had to get it done privately, I would have had to pay for it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
do you know if they do any rapid tests in Trinidad and Tobago? The test that you get the results within few minutes?
I do not think so. Only when we quarantine, that's where they did the rapid test. I'm not sure as for the general hospitals because it actually took my friend about 2 to 3 weeks to get his results.
What?
Yes, because when I kept asking, did you get your results? No. Did you get your results? No. Until
2 to
he
3 weeks?
felt better after the 2 weeks. And I asked, did you get the results? Not yet. And the next day that when I asked him is when he got his results. And he was already better and stuff. So, yeah.
Wow.
And Anselm, this was one of the questions I wanted to pose to Mr. Imbert. If he was going to or offer or make allowance for extra funding for the Ministry of Health to allow for these rapid tests, or you know what I'm saying, and to buffer the Ministry of Health because in this pandemic. But he cut it off so short, and he made the thing so brusque and so brief that I didn't get to really reinforce because to wait 3 weeks for results or and she that's terrible. You should be
Yeah.
was your friend moving around while they were waiting for the result of the test?
No. He was at home. Yeah, he was at home. He take his necessary precautions because, I mean, he had to wait for the
But
result.
watch it here, young lady. How many other persons was your friend in touch with? And watch it
Exactly,
on Slim. And watch it. Were these persons disciplined enough if they were notified to quarantine themselves? So you see how this
Exactly.
community spread goes?
Exactly.
You see
Exactly.
what I'm saying, Answer? So these were
Mm-hmm.
questions I wanted to pose to Mr. Imbert. Are you going to provide extra funding for contact tracing, for a rapid test, for,
Yeah.
and that way you'll help curb the spread of this disease. Because if someone finds out they're COVID positive, she wasn't feeling well, and she had the common sense and the wherewithal to know, you know what, I better, self-quarantine, I better wear my mask, I better, right? But some persons are going to be like, oh, it's just, and they go
Exactly.
continue as usual, and that's where the community spread is coming from,
And while
and
I
it's
do
going to get
understand,
worse.
okay, I what I heard is that they have a shortage of tests, so they're not testing any and anybody. But you know, there are folks who are asymptomatic. So it's not necessary that you have to have a symptom to know that you have COVID, right? Because it's, as I said, it was only one day where I had a lot of aches and pains. For the other days, I felt better enough to get myself to the hospital and get tested. And one of the reasons why I didn't get tested is because I didn't have the symptoms, which I find is
Well,
funny.
Daniel, I want to thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And your
No problem.
story is a great story in that you were able to get an exemption, you were able to go back home with your family,
Yeah.
and you are negative,
Yeah.
and we want you to continue being negative, continue to stay safe, continue to social
Yes.
distance, wash your hands,
Wash your
and do
hands.
and do all the things that you're supposed to do to keep everybody else including you and your family, safe. Thank you so very
Yes.
kindly.
Thank you so much. Have a nice
All
day.
right. Okay,
Bye.
take care.
Have a good
Thank you.
evening.
Thank you. So let's bring in I think this is Kathy. No, I think we have Precious waiting for our Precious device is connected. Let's see Kathy. I guess let me see.
Mm.
Hello, you on WZY 95.9 FM, Kathy? Hello, Kathy. Kathy. Okay, Kathy is not there, and the other person device is not connected. Hello, Kathy. All right, we're gonna remove her, and then she can try to get back in.
Did
Mm.
did the young lady say whether her friend traveled also?
The one in Trinidad, no, she didn't say that.
Mm.
That's what I really wanted to know, because I wanted to get it clear in my head whether or not people are going home negative and winding up positive.
Mm.
Watching it
That's what
while
happened to
they're
her. That's what happened to her.
see, this is like this whole situation that we're in now is the opposite of what they believe was going to happen, that we were going to come
Mm-hmm.
positive and infect them. Now we're coming negative and being infected on the ground. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
seems
Mm-hmm.
like is happening in my mind. It's really sad. We we've
Because
gone we've gone from hero to zero in Trinidad. That's where we are.
But guys, here's a new story, right? It says 2,473 officers, right, who had to quarantine. Did those officers quarantine at home, or they quarantine at and at 200
state facility.
2,470 officers were in COVID quarantine? Did they quarantine at home, or did they quarantine in a state facility?
I would believe they quarantine at home
So
unless they're severe.
if they
Unless
could
it's
quarantine at home, what's the
then people.
problems with exile and stranded citizens quarantining at home
Thank
and
you.
they're negative?
Thank you. Negative. Thank you, Anselm. Whoop de
What
doo.
is the deal?
What's the deal?
2,470 of us were in COVID quarantine.
And because they're positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's because they haven't was in contact with someone who was positive.
Okay.
That's what
And
I want to think.
I read somewhere in my readings that persons in Trinidad who are positive and have mild or no symptoms are quarantining at home. That's what I read somewhere. I don't know if I was correct in my memory of it. I think that's what I saw somewhere, that persons who were positive, some of them were quarantining at home.
There's too much of fear mongering. There's too much of, they're not, to me, in Trinidad and Tobago, they have not set one standard and adhere to from the top, the fish from the top. One standard, this is what is we're going to do, and this state quarantine and paid quarantine and just, no. Why are people coming home negative, having to pay to go stay somewhere and they have their houses? You're further putting more stress on individuals who have been locked out. And then do away with the stupid exemption policy. Now, you see the travel alert issued by CDC Trinidad and Tobago is at level 4.
You see?
Level 4, right? Am I right or wrong, Anselm?
Yeah, level 4. Mhm.
Level 4.
Like
And they were trying to say that we coming in there and infecting them when it is clearly that they're not listening down there. It's community spread and the variant brought in by the whomever, the non-national from wherever. And we've been trying to tell them about those porous southern borders for the longest, and no one was listening. All they were concerned with is locking out stranded citizens and disenfranchising them and making them uncomfortable and, inconvenience, according to my friend Fitzy. They weren't listening. Nobody was listening. So, this is what happens now.
Let's see if we can get
So
Kathy
who's
in here.
infecting who?
Yeah. Hi, Kathy. You on WZY 95.9 FM? Kathy? Kathy?
Wherever she is Wi-Fi.
Oh, there she is. Kathy? I think her mic is muted. Let's try Precious now. Let's try Precious. Uh, hello, Precious. You're on WZY 95.9 FM. Are you there?
Take
You
the
gotta
mic
unmute your.
off.
You gotta unmute your mic.
Hit the microphone.
Unmute your mic.
Touch the microphone. No, touch the microphone. I don't think you
Okay.
understand how to work.
All right. All right. No Precious either. Let's try Kathy again. Kathy, unmute your mic,
No,
Kathy. Hello, Kathy.
maybe she's not hearing you. I don't know.
Kathy.
Maybe she doesn't want to talk.
All right. We get back to Kathy and we get back to Precious as well. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She said, Oma says, someone came in together with me on flight with a negative PCR test, and we were ready to leave. A test result in Trinidad came back positive.
They're picking up COVID in Trinidad and Tobago. It's
Mm-hmm.
down there. It's in there, you know, it's there. You're not cleaning the facilities properly.
Mm-hmm.
Who's handling the food? Who's dealing with the repatriated nationals?
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It's in Trinidad and Tobago. And I saw a story where they caught 60 nationals up in Lopino or wherever wanting to go hiking.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a state health emergency, and 60 of them want to go hiking. They clearly are not listening. They're not adhering to any health protocols. They
Hi,
don't want to wear no
Precious.
mask.
Hi, good night.
Good night, Precious. How are you?
Good night. Good night, Precious.
I'm fine. How are you guys?
We are
We're great.
fantabulous. I could say for everyone, we are fantabulous. Thank you very much. And Precious, where you coming to us from?
From Trinidad,
What part of Trinidad?
Maracas.
Maracas.
Yes.
You're close to the
Which one?
beach.
Maracas, St. Joseph or
No,
Maracas?
Maracas St. Joseph. Sorry, that's the
Oh,
proper
oh,
dams.
oh,
Yeah,
all right, all
Maracas
right,
St.
all
Joseph.
right. Yeah, Tommy, thank you,
Wish
man.
I
I
was
was,
though.
I thought you was coming. I thought you was piping in from the beach, boy.
It would have been torture. It would have been torture that I wouldn't be able to go and to the beach right now, but it's all good.
Oh, okay. I mean, Gary might, the other Gary might have to come and pay you a visit.
No, no, no. I don't no, I won't disobey the law. No, I won't do that.
Oh, you
It would
use
have
that
it
law
would
about. Go ahead.
abiding citizen.
Yeah, use one of them law abiding Tunis. That's a good thing, boy. That's
Yeah.
a real good. That's a fantabulous thing when we get law
Yes.
abiding citizens. You know. So talk to us, Precious. Talk to us. I know
Yes.
Gary introduced you to us. Tell us.
Yes, I've been on the just have some like a little two issues. I have been on the group chat with Gary for a while now.
Mhm.
I was in North Carolina, stuck there for over 10 months,
10
and
months.
thank God I was introduced to Gary.
Mhm.
And despite what you know um people have to say, or the negativity, the backlash, because of, I guess, I don't know, 5 minutes of fame or whatever the case may be. Gary has really, truly been a person to help these stranded citizens. And
Mhm.
I was lucky to be one of them that he helped. And
Mhm.
as much as it was hard to get into it, and as soon as I get onto Gary, he was able to help me out. Um, Coming to Trinidad, it wasn't an easy thing. The person who was there a few minutes ago that was talking, she made some valid points. I mean, it's really hard now
Mhm.
with the COVID, the rise. I mean, you safeguard yourself in the States for so long, and then you come here, and then there's a rise.
Mhm.
You're fearful now, but there are a lot of people that on the group chat right now that's spreading vicious lies about Gary. And I don't really appreciate that, to be honest, because he really helped that one particular person I'm aware of.
Mhm.
And in knowing that she have to say all these negative things, which is blatant lies,
Mhm.
um, I just want people on the air to know that whatever she's saying, she know herself very well. Um,
Mhm.
Sangita,
Mhm.
I know you're listening, you're on, and Gary Denny they have a lot of supporters that have his back. And that person's supposed to be grateful because there were a lot of people that was stranded crying, and she was one of them. And he went out of his way to help her, you know.
Mhm.
So, I mean, to people who want help and need to get some kind of assistance, I mean, there's Gary that will give you that support. And trust and believe, I will give you a little insight what I went through when I was in Trinidad when I came back to quarantine. There's a particular night there was this there was this guy that he was on the first platform with us in
Mhm.
St. Augustine,
Mhm.
and it was just women on the floor, and he was just like a stalker.
Mhm.
As soon as you open the door, unfortunately doors couldn't close from the outside. If it is you go to the bathroom or the toilet, you have to be, with somebody. And
Mhm.
as soon as you open the door, I saw him there.
Mhm.
So I messaged in the group that there's somebody on the, floor, scared, whatever. And
Mhm.
immediately there was Cindy that called me, Gary called, they, get around to find what going on, what taking place, send somebody there, whatever. So Gary is very much a genuine person. His work is very much genuine. What does he want to do to get back his stranded citizens? And I just want people out there to know that he is that.
Mhm. And listen,
Mhm.
we work here with Gary, and
Mhm.
we know we know
Mhm.
personally the things that
Right.
Gary have done and gone out of his way to have done, in order to help many people, many people, you know,
Mhm.
many people,
Right.
and
Mhm.
and 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 sometimes, boy, sometimes it's kind of hard when you have gone out of your way to assist somebody, and then that
Right.
same person turn on you. It's difficult to deal with,
Mhm. Mhm.
but
Mhm.
sometimes, you have to let it be and move on, because
Yeah.
there's more people to help, there's more people to
Right.
assist,
You can't
and
focus. Yes. You can't
go ahead.
focus on. You can't focus on the one person.
Hmm.
Because out of how many hundred people probably Gary helped, if
Hmm.
one person says something negative, that is just irrelevant. That person is irrelevant. It's not
Correct,
even a factor.
correct,
Because
correct. Hmm.
I've been on that group chat and I've heard that person cry for help and she need this and Gary was there. And I can tell you any hours at 2 o'clock in the morning, I called Gary and he was able to help me with the situation that I just mentioned to you guys.
Hmm.
You know, that is somebody that is genuine, wanting to help. Some people will say, I will help you, but then they're not answering their phone, they're not, returning text messages.
Hmm.
They all on, games, but not with Gary or Cindy. I can tell you
Hmm.
that hands down.
Hmm. Yeah, and listen, and we appreciate,
Hmm.
and you know what's important though? I think what's more
Hmm.
important is for those people who have been assisted,
Hmm.
right, to call in or get in
Hmm.
and tell your story. You
Right.
understand? Because it's
Hmm.
important for people to hear the stories. Because a lot of people in Trinidad and Tobago at one point in time were saying there's no more stranded citizens, right?
Hmm.
And if
Yes.
you listen to the Prime
Yep.
Minister 2 days ago, he said,
Hmm.
and I'm going to play the tape, he said
Hmm.
that all those that were stranded have been brought home, right? And
Yeah.
those people who are out there, just people who went out and we tell them don't go out, or those are permanent residents and citizens who are living outside and want to come home and we can't bring them home now. We're going to bring them home,
Yeah.
jet by jet,
Hmm.
so to speak. But
Right.
there are still people out there, and listen, and we have to give the Minister of National Security, 𝗪𝗪𝗓, credit for
Hmm.
expediting exemptions in the past 2 weeks or so.
Right.
You understand? Because
Hmm.
exemptions there has been an escalation of exemptions since he have taken office. You have to give credit where credit is due. You see the problem in Trinidad and
Correct.
Tobago. They don't like to give
Hmm.
people credit, All they want to give you is like what other people trying to give Gary. That's all they
Hmm.
want to give
Hmm.
you. They don't want
Hmm.
to give
I
you
agree.
credit. Well, they'll
Hmm.
give you credit if you're going to the bank and you want to get some type of credit or something. I don't need kind of credit.
To buy a house.
Right. Right.
They ain't gonna give you
Buy a
credit
car.
for the. Yes, yes, Tommy.
I said they give you credit to buy a car, but not a house.
Right, correct, correct. They'll give credit
Top
to
of
Not to
buy.
the
start,
Welcome to the
answer.
bank. Huh?
Top of the
not to
hour.
start a business.
Yeah, not to start a
Right.
business. No, but Precious,
Uh-huh.
we want you to stay with us. We
Mm-hmm.
gotta go to the top of the hour. We gotta go for a quick break, and when we come back,
Uh-huh.
folks, all right, it's in the village with the dark triplets on WZY 95.9 FM. Of course, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. And this is our anthem song. We'll be right back.
Is Pharaoh still existing? As he before, resembling an... You are listening to WCYELP 95.9 FM, Maplewood, New Jersey, broadcasting from Essex County. You're listening to WCYE 95.9 FM.
And of course, it's in the village with the dark triplets on WZY 95.9 FM. It's Diana, Ansem, and Gary. And of course, we have Tommy with us as well. And currently with us is Precious, actually a former exile and stranded citizen who is basically telling her story with respect to 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗵𝗲 and the things 𝗪𝗶𝗪𝗵 have done in order to move this situation along. And you know, we have to be grateful when people are trying to help us and being generous. All right. So, like Nessie says, kudos to Fitz, right? Most people know for a fact, that I have been the most critical person of Fitzgerald Hines. There's been no other person more critical than me, and I'm a PNM, right? I have been very critical of him. However, you have to be able to separate stuff. I have separated exile and stranded citizens from him being MP for 𝗪𝗏𝗘, not 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗘. I've separated that, right? He's Minister of National Security. You know, we have a humanitarian initiative here that we are fighting for. You know, he's on board with us and he's helping us. So why should I be critical of him because of the other shortcomings he has? I have to put those shortcomings aside. But when this thing finishes, we're going back to those shortcomings earlier. So Precious, continue with your story. Hi, Precious.
Hi.
Yeah, continue with your story and telling us the things that Gary have done. No, you were stranded in North Carolina for, you said, 10 months, right?
Yeah, 10 months.
And when did you go back to Trinidad?
I came here January the 9th. Yeah, January 9th.
Oh, January 9th. Wow, you was
Yeah.
there for a little bit, boy. So you passed through the former Minister of National Security as well.
Yep.
Did you apply for exemption under him?
I applied for a lot of exemptions, and what I didn't like about it is that you have to be very descriptive. Like, you let them know, to me, your personal business. You don't have money. You know, you desperately need to come home. Your kids, missing you. They're going through getting panic attacks, especially my daughter. You know, because I'm not around. All these things you have to put in an email just to go home.
Wow.
You know, I find it was just too much.
Mm.
A little degrading sometimes for me, but um, it was ridiculous. You know, constantly pleading to come in your country. Now I can understand the COVID rise or whatever, but in my defense, I'm just saying that there are people that need to come home. Focus on that, bring them home little bit by little bit, trickle them in. You know what I mean? But at least give them some idea when they will be coming. Don't just, just have them there wondering. You hearing stories about people in the state suffering, who selling bottles, who doing this to survive, and the prime minister, nobody ain't getting a hint or a phone call telling them this is what's taking place. Get these people home.
But Precious,
You know what?
Precious, have
Mm-hmm.
you hear any news in Trinidad and Tobago that exile and
Mm-hmm.
stranded citizens have been repatriated, are causing community spread of COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago?
Yes, I have. When I came down here, that was already circulating. That is those who come in and have infected, you know, the country. But my thing is, like I think I mentioned this again, I'm not 100% sure, but they're not focusing on the Venezuelans who walking on water, like how Jesus walked on water. They ain't focusing on that. You understand what I'm saying? They ain't focusing
Mm.
on that. They're focusing on the ones abroad. They ain't focusing on right in Trinidad, Venezuelans coming, walking on water and coming in the country illegally and spreading the virus. They're not seeing that.
But
They
but
have
but
a reason. Uh-huh.
no,
Go ahead.
go ahead, Precious. Go ahead.
Yeah, they have a reason why they don't want to open the borders. That's just my thing. They have reasons why,
Now,
so
now it's interesting, right? Look at this, right?
mhm,
It's interesting, right?
mhm,
This is a facility that was set up at Gene Pier Complex, right? 80 beds,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
So to me, if the government of Trinidad and Tobago is really serious about exiling stranded citizens and they felt
mhm,
that the health system will be overwhelmed, why couldn't they have done this before? Why couldn't they have done this
right.
for exile and stranded citizens? Right?
Mhm,
Why? Why now? Right? In that because
mhm.
there's a rapid COVID spread in Trinidad. This is what you're doing now. You could have done this before and you wouldn't have to
Before, correct,
utilize it. It could have been sitting
correct.
there just waiting, right? Not only
Mhm,
that, what about this? Look, they have military tents, military field
mhm,
hospital set up at Cuba, Port of Spain. Why couldn't they have
mhm.
done this for exile and stranded citizens?
Exactly.
So
I said that one
it's the
time.
same exact thing. So
Mhm,
the government made a
mhm.
conscious decision to keep all the outside the
To
country.
keep up. Exactly. I think that was like I'm not saying plan they had. Oh, I think they was trying to make us suffer. Y'all in because in their mind is people who went there against what he was saying. Some of us just went on a vacation for 2 weeks. I went for my birthday
Hmm,
and I got stranded.
hmm,
You know, so it was just. I think it's just he using that as an excuse.
mhm.
Not to bring us in.
Yep,
But
and
as always, today for you, tomorrow for me.
correct.
You know, so
And it's
that's
kind
a
of
weird.
sad. But you know
Yeah,
what's
you
good,
can't.
Precious, though? Precious, I gotta
Uh-huh.
tell you this, eh?
Mhm. Mhm.
It seems that you have a great attitude now from just hearing you.
Uh-huh.
In that
Thank you.
it seemed like if you have gotten to a better place, so to speak.
Mhm. Thank you.
I mean,
It was
I'm
it was
just go ahead.
it was hard. It was hard. I remember calling in to the radio station, and
Mm.
I want to believe it I want to believe it's you, if I'm not mistaken.
No, yeah, it's me. It's
Um
me. Yeah.
yeah, that I would
Mm-hmm.
call and sometimes tears in my eye because I want to come home. And you're
Mm.
trying and you told me at one time, no, hang in there, everything will work out, you'll be in your country, you'll be back home or whatever.
Mm.
And I mean it was hard. And I could just imagine me being out there
Mm.
for 10 months and people who
Mm.
out there for a year and more
Mm.
and they don't have a place to stay, they don't have money to buy food. And you telling me people
Mm.
hearing these stories and still thinking to themselves that these people, it's not real.
But Precious, you are so right. Yeah, we have a fella with an initial PS, and that's not a permanent secretary, right? We we,
Mm-hmm.
we, we don't like to call names. He people
Mm-hmm.
in Trinidad, we are real jokey people in Trinidad sometimes. He called this
True.
program. He called this program, and he wants empirical evidence that people are
Uh-huh.
stranded. Right?
Mm.
I
Wow.
thought I thought he was the minister of health or the minister of national security. That you know, I thought he got promotion. Right? I knew he was
You
just an ordinary
understand?
Trinidad and Tobago citizen. But here you are
Uh-huh.
telling him, right? He was telling us, all you don't know stranded and exiled citizens out there, all you're just making that up,
Right.
right?
My goodness.
Hmm.
And the thing about it, you hearing people coming up because I'm not on I'm not on social media,
Mm-hmm.
but you hear I'll go see on my mom page, she'll call me and she'll be like, P, look at this. Look at
Mm-hmm.
how you're seeing people saying that they're stranded and the prime minister still could say that that's not real, that's fake, that is just people there's there and who was there for years and they want to come back. You telling me that you not seeing me cry for help and that falling on deaf ears? No man, that's
but
not fair.
even
Nowhere that could be fair.
but even there are a lot of people who've been here for years that actually move back home, that come here from time to time to get their health care. And I know quite a few of them. And they're unable to go back home because they have to go through the exemption process and they're being denied, or should I say being ignored. So I mean,
Right. Mm-hmm.
in a lot of
But
ways, they're actually hurting the people who live in Trinidad and Tobago because these people who move back and forth, they fuel the economy. They bring US dollars with them and they spend a lot of money in Trinidad when they're in Trinidad.
mhm, mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Why some of the youths around the area and so on and so
it's just it's just a sad state of affair. But pressure, just as I told you back then, right? So what I told you
Mm-hmm.
came to pass, right? I told you hang in
Yep.
there, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the best
Correct.
is yet to come. And I'll
Yeah.
say to all the exiled and stranded citizens who are still out here, continue to keep the faith and use Precious
Right.
and many others who have already gone, Rose, Omar, many who have already gone, use that and say, you know what? My time will come sooner rather than
Exactly.
later. When that
Yeah.
time comes, just be ready, to jump on that plane and go back home, and enjoy, the
Your
soil of Trinidad
family.
and Tobago. Enjoy your
Yeah.
family, enjoy your loved ones
Yeah.
that you have missed so
Mm-hmm.
dearly. And
Correct.
it's hard to ignore what the prime minister and them saying because them not in the position, you understand? Them not in the
Mm-hmm.
position. And as prime
Exactly.
minister of Trinidad and Tobago, you believe by locking out your citizens, you are saving the country from COVID-19, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will think so. You will think
Yeah.
that locking out exile and stranded citizens out of the country, Trinidad should be number one,
Right.
right? With respect to
Mm-hmm.
COVID cases. We should be number one. We are the only country that have consistently locked out its citizens
But
and still
Anselm,
locking them
Exactly.
out.
But
Mm-hmm.
as we all realize, it's like your children outside. You close they tell them they have to come in through the front door. You close the front door, and you have the back door open, and the neighbor children coming in.
Yep. I'm bringing in God
What he
knows
said?
what.
What he said
Yeah.
about the iguana tail? What he had said about the iguana tail?
He said his daughter come home on the end of the iguana tail. So we still waiting for exile and stranded citizens to get that end of the iguana tail. They're still waiting and watch we say this program is going to continue until the last exile and stranded citizen get home on the end of the iguana tail.
What is that? I was weak when I heard that. Yes. Oh my goodness, Lord Father. I just
Yeah,
always say, I don't know. They'll have to be dealt with
you know, I just believe that. But listen,
accordingly
it
when the
can't.
time and expect, as they say, expect to see God's speed.
Yeah, but you know what happened? It started there because he moved Stuart Young from Minister of the Ministry of National Security,
Mhm.
right? Because
Mhm.
that fella, like he had no compassion, boy, none,
Nah, he was heartless.
zero.
He was
That boy
heartless.
was like Iron Man, Iron Man. That the fella in that is one of the what else call them
Um,
again? The
hard to call up.
The
superheroes,
That
cartoon
was
superheroes.
just
character, superheroes, yeah.
Yeah, one of the superheroes, X-Man, Iron Man, boy.
Mhm, mhm.
When that man go on press conference, that man, I don't even know if that man used to smile, boy.
Yeah,
he
I,
but
had,
he was
it was nothing.
heartless.
Yeah, it was
huh?
nothing. He was just like a dead
Stoic.
face. Like like people who do autopsies, they have the spirit just dead.
Ooh.
Mhm.
They just have no feelings. The facial expression is just dead.
That's right, Iron Man. You can't put a
Jesus.
dent in Iron Man. No dent in that fella. That
Hmm.
fella was, and that fella used to come and lie with a straight face.
Mhm.
Yeah,
He
but I
lies.
admire him for that. I
Yeah,
admire him
boy.
for that, for real.
You know, that fella lied properly, When he finished with that English there, he lied to you. You think, boy, yeah, boy, that's true, What?
Yeah, he convinced him too.
Yeah, but Stuart, yeah, boy. No, but yeah,
Yeah, he convinced him.
that
He'll
fella
make you
that.
question yourself. He'll make you question yourself, like, am I seeing this wrong? Am I, he have you thinking, and then you have to pull yourself together and be like, oh, no, 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 no. This is all games. You know
But
what I mean?
yeah,
At the study moment, you catch you for a second.
what? If Stuart Young had told you the West Indies was the best cricket team and the soccer was the best soccer team in the world, you're like, yeah, boy. Stuart, then true, boy. West Indies is number one. Stuart Young said, if Stuart Young say West Indies is number one and the soccer is the best football team in the Caribbean, that's for a really good, boy. They good. He good. You had to give them credit where credit is due. But Precious,
I didn't laugh like that's pretty deal, but it was it was good. I swear.
but you see, Precious, you know what good? You know what's good, Precious, boy? Seriously, boy, that you
Uh,
could actually call in and we could laugh now, boy, and have a good laugh, right?
yeah.
Have
Maybe
a after.
it's still think. You still think about it. Still
Oh,
That's the internet.
other people. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and that's what we do here. We think about other people, right? But we also
Begging to come
cherish,
home.
right? We also
Yeah.
cherish and relish those people who have gotten exemption and return home, and it's a good mood,
Mhm.
boy. We had a young lady named Takesha, boy. She used to call here and we used to try to help,
Mhm.
and she got better and better and
Remember?
better and better. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So this is like therapy too for many people, who have been
Yeah.
stranded outside here. Where they could call us,
Yeah.
like they have a place they could call and kind of, exhale, so to speak.
mhm.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
So Precious, again, we want to thank you so very kindly, and
You're
continue to say
welcome.
a prayer for those who are still exiled and stranded, right?
Mhm.
And we
Yeah.
hope to hear from you again. Thank you so much.
All right. No
All right.
problem. And always remember, Gary, you have people behind you. Okay?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you so much.
Good.
All right. Bye bye.
Yeah. Hello, you on WZY 95.9 FM. Good night. How are you?
Well,
How are you doing, Rose? Uh-huh. But wait,
tell
Rose,
Rose I don't
Rose,
want to hear her.
yeah, Rose, how you gonna be eating for me and we can't eat? Oh, we don't like that. I don't
Tell
want
Rose
nobody.
I don't want to hear her.
Yeah, Diana says she.
I don't. I don't want to hear Rose.
Yeah, Diana says she won't hear that. She won't hear that rules. If she can't eat it. And Rose, oh
Oh,
God.
yeah, boy, I
Rose,
tell you.
Rose. Mm. Thank you so much, Rose. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. And I want to say something to people. Yeah? Honestly, we're not interested in watching the numbers to see if we have 100 people on, and if you have 2,000 people on, and all you push up the numbers now, push up the numbers, push up the numbers now, push it up, push it up, push it up, all push up the numbers, push up the numbers, all of that kind of fake thing. We're not interested in that. We want to have 10 people, 10 loyal people, and we want to have the people that we help, those we're interested in. We're not interested in them kind of fake thing. All of them, all of them other programs do that. Let them do that. Push up the numbers. Push up the numbers. Or let's share the live. Share the live. Share the live now, man. Share the live. Diana, you're supposed to be saying that, man. Share the live. Tommy, you're supposed to be share the live.
Oh,
All let us say that. Eh? Kathy,
no.
are you there? Kathy? Kathy?
Aslam,
Yeah.
Aslam,
Go ahead. Yeah.
ungratefulness is worse than obedience.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah, yeah,
property?
yeah, yeah. Correct is right.
So so we'll see all of those who are ungrateful, they live to regret it.
Mm-hmm.
Correct is right, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what we are interested by
See Katisti.
is in helping people, right, to see a better tomorrow. That's what we are interested in. Look when Rose could call, right? Rose call and say she eating all the food. She ain't giving we none, no. She ain't selling none for we FedEx or TT
Nope.
Post. She could go down TT
Mm-hmm.
Post and send something for we. I mean, we ain't gonna get it until a month later. But at least,
Or,
at least we know we will get it.
or maybe next year.
Now that how you gonna get it before next year.
No, no, with the poor, no, with the I no, Anselm, honestly,
No.
honestly,
Why you
you'll
bad
get
talking
next
we
year
post office so boy? What is that?
because the pandemic and the half staff and everybody home and the mail affected too, the mail sick too.
Oh, all right, all right, all right,
So,
all right, all right, all right, all right.
so
So that, yeah, all right, I go take that. I go take that one down. I go take that one. We might get, we might get that we might get that one in a while. And you know something, boy. We don't just want to highlight, all the things. And I want to do something. I want to do something. You see this report here? This
mm,
report here is not accurate, right?
mm,
Trinidad and Tobago is not really the first in the world,
mm,
right? What this is a statistics, and the people put at the bottom first in the world, and that's part of what we do here. Because if you look, and that's what I tell people, all your Google, all your thing, don't just take their word for it. The same time when the government put out something, all you Google it too. Google and find out, right? What is done here, it just take a snapshot of different countries where there might be difficulties, right? And they put the COVID deaths per million, right? But there are countries that are worse than Trinidad and Tobago. But it just shows these countries here are the most prevalent countries today. So they put it on this graph here, right? So Trinidad is not really the first in the world, right? So, I mean, people have to do whatever they have to do, right? But when we bring information here, we bring facts to you, and we want you to Google it to find out whether it's true or if it's not true. All right? It's just that simple, right?
But
So
Anselm,
yeah,
the statistics are usually done on a per capita basis.
that one was per 1 million.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was done for 1 million. Yeah, 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 yeah. I was
but it,
supposed to share this last week, but I didn't share this. This young lady says for phase three, we should close down Walmart, Costco's, and other big retail stores for 6 months and let small business have a turn at making record profits.
yep, I for that too. I for that
That
too.
that and two red donkeys you go see. But it's a good
I
suggestion,
for that. Yeah. Mm,
It's a good suggestion. But, but,
I
but,
for
but
that
listen,
too.
this one was a little time ago. Jamaica banning we from Trinidad,
Oh boy.
Jamaica to ban travel from Trinidad and Tobago, boy. Imagine that.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Jamaica, boy. Eh?
I wonder if Barbados gonna ban all it too.
No, 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 no. Barbados ain't go ban me. Barbados don't like that.
You don't know that.
No, them Jamaicans different. Jamaicans different.
You don't know that.
Hey, but all they didn't see this one. This fella was caught stealing, right? And the magistrate had him go out
Uh-huh.
with a sign outside, and he had stand up with a sign that says, "Thou shalt not steal." That was a good idea, He
Huh?
had to stand up with a sign that says, "Thou shalt not steal." Right?
Where is this in Trinidad?
Yeah, in Trinidad, everybody knows he's a thief now. you know, He had to stand up with a sign. That's the kind of creativity we need in Trinidad and Tobago. You understand?
Hmm.
Not the normal thing that they're always doing in Trinidad and Tobago.
Public
You know?
humiliation.
Yeah, yeah, public humiliation. You need some of that too. Creativity, boy. The creativity juices flowing in order to be creative. And here's another one.
Well,
This person put up this sign in Tobago, right? It says, come to Tobago, come to Tobago, right? 1 week before Easter, 7,924 cases. 3 weeks after, 10,478 cases. Now you're saying stay home, don't go to Tobago. Why no shutdown for Easter? Why now? Right?
Oh.
And he called it the carrot shed. Oh God.
Oh
not,
God.
nothing like I like Trinidad, but you know, although we partner back in the news, Trevor Sears, boy. Look,
but
Trevor
Anselm,
Sears. Although no Trevor. Yeah.
I know that place, the Karachi. That's a place in 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗵𝗏. I can identify it. Yeah, that's in
That's what it
𝗪𝗶𝗏𝗏.
is?
Yeah, that's where the Karachi is.
Oh, okay. Why they call it the carrot shed?
That's the name of the place. That's
You
the
know?
name of the business. It's a bar and
Oh, okay.
restaurant and bar and spot like that. It's like a night spot, a live spot.
But look how they
Oh,
spell
okay.
carrot.
Yeah, let's just spell carrot.
Yeah.
I think there's a pun intended to that, you know. Carrot.
They spell that. They spell that specifically like that for a reason. Carrot instead of carrot.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Carrot.
Okay, you see what thing? Carrot, yeah. But
No,
yeah, we partner. Look, we partner.
no vagrant thing getting no corona. We eating out of dustbin and sleeping on the street.
What did you take?
Out of dustbin and sleeping on the
Where
street.
get that mask from? Let me see your mask. Where get that mask from?
In the dustbin.
Take it off. And no corona.
No corona. Strong like a lion and black like a tar.
Wow, you see? No vagrant in getting corona. Why is that? Why it is? God protecting them? Or what is the problem? No vagrant getting corona. Where they sleep?
On the street. As you can see,
And where they get food to eat?
in the dustbin.
In the dustbin?
Yeah. Sometimes Mr. Kawasi will give me something to eat.
Well,
Most of the times in the dustbin.
in the dustbin?
Yeah, because we can't go and ask him for everything to eat every day. But you go blank.
So you're getting food to eat in the dustbin.
Yeah.
And you're still strong.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe God protecting everybody, right? God is good.
Yeah.
So tell them no corona for the vagrant.
No corona for the vagrant because Almighty God is good. Keeping me alive for a reason and a purpose.
How long you on the street?
7 years.
7 years. And you're strong.
Like a lion.
Alright then. So you see, we have to pray for everybody. No corona for the vagrant. None. You don't have to die from corona.
That's interesting.
No vagrant.
That's very interesting.
And
Yeah.
you also notice too, Anselm, in the homeless population on the street, they don't make no babies.
Hmm. I'm
You
telling you, you
notice
know.
that?
Yeah.
They
No
not
joking.
Yeah. I often I wonder. I think it's a I noticed that from bosses. They dirty. They full of muck. They go, and they be they're not sick. Me and you, we gotta be careful. And we bathing and we cleaning and we gonna catch it. And look, I sure pollen ain't bothering them. Pollen kicking my tail right now.
I don't feel like I'm not worried
Allergies.
about that.
My allergies, the dust, the pollen from the trees. If you hear me, I sound nasally. Kicking my tail, you know, and the vagrants and them, like nothing ain't doing them. Nothing ain't
No,
doing them at all.
no. Here's the PM on the morning news now with Natalie Legault talking about stranded citizens.
Going
Yeah.
forward.
Dr. Rowley, I think for me personally, one of the things that the government has done, while I understand it, that has really tugged at my heart, are the people who are still, the 𝗪𝗏𝗏 nationals who are still outside the borders. You know, I don't even know how to phrase the question because I'm trying to think when, or, you know, if there will be any additional, any building out of the facilities so that you can bring home more people, because there's still a lot of people out there who are, some of them I can tell you personally are literally suffering. And I know the government had kind of put something in place to help those who are there, but you know how these things are. It doesn't ever reach everybody. how will the government address this situation so that it can have a more empathetic approach?
Well, we have brought home a significant number of people, much, much more than the ones who were just caught out there when we closed the border. Well, and I shouldn't even say close the border. We have been managing people over the border. The border has been put up, and we've been managing people over it. And we were just about to begin to consider opening up a bit more because people were being vaccinated in North America in a major way. And we here had begun to vaccinate, and we could have been able to bring more people in. We have brought in as many people as we could manage in the context of the quarantine system being an integral part of our response. If we had taken, or if we take the position to get away from that by virtue of allowing people to come in free sheet, then the absence of an effective quarantine system would destroy our response to the virus.
I agree with you, but any plans to build out the quarantine facilities more, to add more places so that more nationals can come home?
Well, we've done as much as we could do in that, and we keep adding. If you listen to the report that we've got, we keep making more and more space. But as we bring more nationals home, we have it on our hand to manage. And we have done, we've been doing this since April. And I can tell you, all the people who were caught outside with the closure of the border, even though the notice was short, those people have been brought home. A lot of people who have been going back and forth in a system where you have to get permission to come back, there are some of the complainers too. And of course, people who live outside but who want to come into Trinidad and Tobago at this time, we're saying to them, you will come in, but at a rate which allows us to also manage our circumstances at home. And that's an ongoing process.
Prime Minister, we're almost up to the news, but
you guys hear it for yourself, right? That's what I said. I mean, the same reference.
I don't know what happened with my audio. I could barely hear what was being said. But
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe something is wrong with my audio. I don't know.
Yeah. Everybody else
He did the same thing over and over that we that live out here, we the one. Wait. He said, well, he didn't close the borders. So what you do? You open the borders then?
No, he locked it down. He didn't close it. He locked it down.
And you managing the border? Oh, you wait. Give me a chance, you know. Give me 2 minutes. You lock the borders, but you're managing your borders, and you have people having to go to Barbados to come home. What kind of madness you talking, Dr. Rowley? What kind of madness you get there and say just now? And you didn't close the borders. So if the borders ain't closed, then people should be able to come and go as they please then. You know, you switch it to manage now. Managing the borders. But the Venezuelan running rampant coming through the back door. Huh? And well, the people that want to come home is we that live here. Who want to come there and get sick and your healthcare system can't manage us? Come on. The people that got really stranded were the ones that traveled out and they got caught because you locked down the country. You locked them out. Say it, call Jack a Jack and a spade. You locked down the country and locked your citizens out. That will be on your record, a permanent stain.
Yeah, but Diana keeps saying something else too. He actually, that exemption situation has been hurting the economy so bad. There'll be such a cruel backlash on that economy, and I'm sure they're feeling it right now with foreign exchange.
Yeah. That is why I told Anston that they're going to have to devalue the dollar. And some tell me, no, he's the numbers man. But remember I said it, they're going to have to devalue that dollar. See all that money they borrow from China. They're going to have to devalue that dollar. So when it happened, remember I said it, they don't want to. And in your economical head and your logical head, It don't make sense. But I am saying that they're gonna have to do it. Take it from the poet. They're gonna have to do it.
They're gonna want to do it, but if
They're
if
gonna,
Diana,
mm,
poor people suffering in Trinidad and Tobago, right? Poor people suffering
mm,
every day. Poor people suffering. If you devalue the dollar, as a matter of fact, watch this here.
uh-huh.
Look at this here. Look at this. Watch
Why?
this. Look at this here. Look, watch this. Watch.
In less than a year, some taxi drivers across the country have increased their fares multiple times for different reasons, be it the economy, gas prices, or the most obvious, a 50% government-mandated passenger cap. And as of Monday, May 10th, those traveling between 𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗵𝗏 to San Fernando and 𝗪𝗭𝗬𝗘 to San Fernando are subjected to paying $2 more each way. Needless to say, some commuters are not happy.
COVID, this is total wickedness to the highest. Why is that? They've raised for the last COVID. They want to come and raise for the second COVID. We didn't get no raise of pay, so why they want to raise? That is total wickedness.
But 𝗪𝗭𝗬𝗘, president of the 𝗪𝗭𝗬𝗘 Gulf City Taxi Drivers Association, says it is a temporary measure and not all of the 250 or so drivers on this route will be adopting the newest fare.
We was $6, and that's the regular fare, $6. But through we was carrying 75% passengers, we was charging $8. Now we're going to 50% passengers, we are charging $10. As long as the 75% passengers come back, we will drop back to $8. And we go to 100% passengers, we will go back to $6.
They are asking members of the traveling public to bear with them and consider the risk they are taking by continuing to work.
We are sorry for it. We're hoping that the public can work with us and help us out on this situation, because it's very, really hard. If you all watch this stand right now, no one is traveling. I'm packed up here over an hour and a half now, and I haven't got a passenger yet. We are risking our life coming out here, right? And we have first preference in getting this thing to take home to our family, right? And we hope the public understand what we are doing for them. If we do not come out here, how these people are going to work, the grocery, the drugstore, the bank. People need to understand the risk that we are taking.
Meanwhile, all 35 drivers on the 𝗪𝗭𝗬𝗘 to San Fernando route will be adopting their new fare of $18, a $5 hike in under a year. President of their association, 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏, said the original fare was $12, but it increased in June of 2020 to $15 due to restrictions then, and now they've taken the decision to increase to $18 one way. Mr. Ramsingh says if and when restrictions eventually ease, they are only prepared to drop to $15, and they will not be returning to the previous fare, as deplorable road conditions and gas prices also contributed to these changes. Cindy Raghubartika, TV.
Diana, you see, what I'm saying is that, you see them people have to pay more for transportation. If you devalue the dollar, right, people go have to pay more for food stuff, more for stuff in Trinidad and Tobago. How them people go survive? How will those people survive?
I don't know, but that's coming on, Slim. And when it happens, remember I tell you.
Yeah,
Remember
but
I tell you. Remember I tell you, sir.
I hope they don't take your advice. I hope they don't take your advice. Let me say welcome to Jewel. Jewel or Jewel? Diana. Is it Jewel?
That is
Jewel?
Jewel. Yeah.
Jewel, welcome.
Some people want their name pronounced.
No. I want to pronounce it correctly, man. Welcome again. And we have so what I'm saying, Diana, is that, you know, we have to be kind of careful with, you know, the devaluing of a dollar, especially in a place like Trinidad and Tobago. You know, and I believe the only way we're going to devalue that dollar is if we go to the IMF. Right? Yeah. What? We have a new Charlene Ali. Welcome, boy. Charlene, where are you from? Charlene, put in the chat where you from. We have Charlene just joined us, right? So I don't want, I want the people in the country to continue to be able, you know, to deal with. Let me take this call. Hello, caller. You're on WZY 95.9 FM. Hello. Good night to you. Yeah, we have Diana and we have Tommy as well.
Speaker.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mm. Yeah, 10 months. Yeah. Well, think about it this way. She returned home in January, right? So if she had to be leave sometime in March, because March is the 3rd month and April will be the 9th month. So there's a possibility that she could have left after, or she could have left before. But she can put in the chat. I think she's still listening. If she can put in the chat when exactly did she leave. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 All right, Kathy. So let's say she left after, right? I like to go from the other side of the spectrum. Let's say she left after, right? There were many ministers' family who left after her, or who didn't even live in Trinidad. She lives in Trinidad. Who don't even live in Trinidad, and they get to come on before her. There are ministers' family who left after her, and ministers and families who don't live in Trinidad, and they still get to come on before her. No, but no, Dr. Rowley daughter don't live in Trinidad. She get to come home for Christmas. She come home for Christmas. Right, and that girl was still stranded. Faris Alwawi's son leave and come back like it ain't nothing. After the borders was closed, and he come back before Christmas. No, I don't think we have to assume that, Kathy. I think that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because you think you're going to be able to come back home. Even if it's at 3 months, you think after 3 months things go open back up just like every other country. And that is the underlying statement. Think. Yeah. If I had to leave, I would have canceled and take my chances of staying, knowing very well it will be difficult for me to come back. And I also heard where they said, someone made a statement and said that our prime minister did the borders, and now he's saying he's managing the borders. Right? Yeah. And that is the statement. The press release, they said that. Now remember, I live in Trinidad. I like to be objective, right? Yes, he said the borders were locked down, but I want you all to know why the borders were locked down. There were people still coming into the country who were granted exemption Yeah. Yeah. Yes, they. Because no, because Kathy, there was no other country in the world where its citizens were locked out of its country and had to apply for exemption. Zero. None. And why do you have to apply for an exemption to come back to your country? Mhm. 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 But Kathy, the process was unfair. The process was unfair. It was not a fair process. It was not a process that you couldn't come back into the country if you leave the country for a vacation, and the borders were closed and they told you don't go. There are people who left after the borders were closed and they get to come back in the country. I telling you, there were people who left after the borders were closed and they left and they were able to get back into the country. Certain people. Mhm. Yeah, open the borders. But no, Bakati, Bakati, no, Bakati, there is no proof in Trinidad and Tobago, absolutely zero, none, that exile and stranded citizens that have returned home have any community spread for COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago. Zero. However, we have evidence that people coming from Venezuela have brought the P1 strain into Trinidad and Tobago. But they didn't spread. They know community spread. They didn't spread. I said community spread. They didn't do no community spread. They had to quarantine. But Kathy, you know for a fact, if that person had gone back into the community and they had any community spread from the person, that would have been fodder for the government to use in order for them to keep stranded exile and stranded citizens out even longer. Remember at one time they used to put the amount of people that was positive that returned on any repatriated flight. When is the last time they put that on that COVID-19 dashboard? They don't put it no more. It's, yeah. But they were doing it conveniently. Yeah, open the borders. Mm-hmm. I mean, then what? Have the people have the people quarantined. Kathy, there was 2,400 police officers in quarantine. 2,400, right? Oh, that's very high. But listen to this. But even that, right? 2,400 of them in quarantine, right? And has there been community spread from those 2,400? We don't know. We don't know, right? But you them quarantining in the house, them not in no state facility quarantine. So how could it be that you have a negative PCR? No, most of them most of them quarantine at home. Well, they're not part. I don't know if they're part of those numbers, part of the COVID dashboard. I don't know if they're part of the COVID dashboard. I don't know that. But I just know that there's 2,400 of them. And more, all right, let me say 2,000 of them quarantining in their house. Get them 500 quarantining in state facilities. Because the number ain't going to add up if it's more than that, right? Why can exile and stranded citizens who have a negative PCR test, right, who are vaccinated, I'm adding that in, and when they come to Trinidad, they take a rapid test to make sure they are negative, go on quarantine in their house? Mm. Yes. Yes. No, but you don't have to finish. I know I telling you yes before you even finish. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Here's why. Here's why. You know what the next thing gonna be, Kathy? You know what the next thing gonna be? Right? The third wave. That's the next thing to keep stranded citizens out. Because there's a third wave coming. When the third wave come, you go come and hear the same story again. Well, we was just about to open the borders. Now we had the third wave. We can't bring nobody back home. It's gonna be. They don't have no solutions. The solution is to, and listen, and that party I support. The solution is to lock down the borders. That is their solution for COVID-19. And it ain't working. It's not working. But Kathy, those countries, and they use Australia as an example. Australia, right, locked out its citizens for 2 days. 2 days. And there was a big uproar of Australia opening it back up. 2 days. No, things good in England now. England went on a lockback down, but if you could fly into England now, Trinidad and Tobago is the only country in the world that has closed its borders. And it's still closed. Too long. There are no solutions. The only solution is to close down the borders. Nah, that'll come better than that, man. That'll come better than that. No creativity at all. None. Yeah. Yeah. No, they're hearing you. Go ahead. Yeah, you listening, you listen. Yeah. Open the borders right now. Citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But there's a caveat. Those who are fully vaccinated, right, come with a PCR test, and when you reach to Trinidad, you have to take a rapid test. Nah, they could manage it. And they're good? Let them manage it. Well, give me the work then. Give me the work. Give me the work. I go manage it. Yeah. I go take the work. Yeah. No, it went on a rapid spread. Kathy, actually, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate
Oh
it.
my. Oh my.
Okay, Kathy, thank you
Mm.
so much. Thank you. Yeah, all right. Yeah. You see, what it is that I my belief is that this thing here with this lockdown closure of his borders, right? It gonna be never ending.
Yep.
Because when the third strain come, it's gonna be our next excuse. You hear what the Prime Minister said? The Prime
Mm.
Minister said, well, we was just about to open the borders, right? Just about. And all of a sudden, we get this attack here in Trinidad and Tobago. And we get the P1 variant, right? So next thing when the P2 come, right, is now we ain't opening the borders. When P3 come, we ain't opening the borders. And when S1 come, we ain't opening the borders. So that's now we got the whole alphabet. You got to start from A
Mm.
now. You got to go back
Because
to A.
viruses do mutate. I was reading a science journal, and they do mutate. So you will get a different variant, a different variant, a different variant, because they're struggling for the strongest variant to survive. Because when they find out that it finds a host who's vaccinated, then it starts to mutate to become a different variant, to try to infect, reinfect people. And then when you have your Venezuelans running rampant and you're locking out your citizens. That's a very good legacy, Dr. Rowley. Very good legacy.
You know,
Let me tell you something. You see, when them doubles and roti and goat meat and pilau mix up with that variant, you get a real Trini variant that's not it. So watch out.
Let me say a
you know,
special welcome to Charlene Ali from California, boy. Charlene, you're from California, Trinidad, or you're living in California, but you're from Trinidad? Because you say she's from California, Trinidad, and I just want to make sure I'm correct. I don't mess the
There's a
thing up.
place named California, Trinidad. Down there.
yep.
Huh?
There's a place named California, Trinidad.
All right,
And sometimes
I just want to be sure. She not
Just
from.
like I never heard of Chumacak here. There's a place named California,
See,
Trinidad.
you always have to bring
I
up
know.
Chumacak, you know.
No, I never hear about
You
it till I
you
meet
you have
you.
something with Chumacak, you know.
And
You have
some was
I
something with
locked
never
down.
hear.
He was locked down in Chumaka, girl.
I never hear. What we say? What Gary say?
I,
What
I was
Bacchanal
locked down.
state
I
is
was
it?
locked down in Chumacak. That a
I
state
never
of
hear about
emergency.
Chumaka.
That a state of emergency for Chumacak.
Mm.
But listen,
yeah.
listen. The Archbishop want to beg people. I know we coming to the top of the hour. So, all right. Oh God, boy. Oh boy. We had to pop all the comments here. Cindy girl, Cindy J, I've listened to you on the program, and I don't have time for people who disobey rules and turn around and blame the authorities. Rest with the utterances. Ooh, boy. Ooh. All right. So I know Cindy J could fight your own battles, eh? Oh, look, Cindy J also say this. Yes, boy, Cindy say, regardless to if Precious left before, during, or after, there shouldn't be any bloody exemptions to return. Why aren't you
Thank
worried
you.
about the Vennies that coming in, Kathy? What, boy?
Thank you. Thank you. Whether you leave before, after, during, whatever, you're a Trinbagonian citizen. You should be able to come back to your country, and you shouldn't have to be begging nobody to come back home where you belong. Yeah, point taken.
But you know,
Perfectamente.
the thing about it, them down there not making a big deal about the Venezuelan, they're attacking our
Nope.
own people, and that's
Yeah, yeah.
that is
All they
something
ain't
that
worry
they
about the
do.
Venezuela. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
they're not making a
They,
noise about that,
yep. They only worry
and that
about
is
who traveling and where and why they leave and let them stay out there and all that. Yeah, you see how heartless y'all are? But the Venezuelans sneak and bring the variant in there. Now you had to deal with it. And it's not your Trinbagonian, your fellow Trinbagonian that infecting you. It's the legal Venezuelans who sneaking in there and getting ID card.
So here it is. Here it is. This is what we're looking for. Let Black Stallion come and tell them. Tell them, Black Stallion. Hold on.
Jersey, broadcasting from Essex County. You're listening to 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗶𝗶𝗏 95.9 FM.
Something. Somebody gotta do something. Somebody do something. Somebody gotta do something, boy. Something. Who we gonna get to do something, boy? I think we gotta
Help!
get it. We gotta get it that triplets to do something, boy. Help! St. John's
Murder!
feeling it, boy.
Oh,
Maracas feeling it.
what I cannot get with these people there, if people are coming straight into quarantine, I've reiterated this many times. If they're coming straight into quarantine, how are they posing a threat to the population? Right? If you expand the quarantine, we could bring the people home on a more rapid pace. You notice the government is not showing no interest in that. But for year after year, 100+ million for carnival to give away. Now we have no money for healthcare. Right? All of a sudden, we need. What is the return on carnival? The government investment in carnival.
Agriculture, man.
Huh? Yeah,
You don't have to do no return on
culture,
carnival.
but you
It's
just can't.
culture.
What is the return? What is the return?
No, they don't look for no return on carnival. Seriously.
But look
They
at
don't
the
look for
amount
no.
of money. Look at the amount of money give away. That's a bribery. Because the rest of the year, you can't get proper service in any of the healthcare system. Okay? You're treated badly. You can't get medication. It's a hassle. You're waiting like you had to go 8 hours. You had to go 5 o'clock in the morning to line up. Basically, if you want to get a 7 o'clock appointment,
You know what carnival is? Carnival is for people in Trinidad and Tobago to make money.
Well,
it's not for the government to make
I think we
money.
should privatize it. I think we should privatize it for the cost of security.
Government makes quite a bit of money too, man.
No, they don't make no money.
Government? No.
Caribbean Airlines doesn't make money.
Oh.
That's
the government.
No, I just kidding.
But think about it. If we privatize it, right, and you have all big stadiums or whatever it is, and you charge a fee, you could cover the cost for the security, and you could put things in a better in a perspective if you privatize it. You know, I mean, then having it, and then there's less hassle on the street. You contain the situation. You know. So anyway, what I'm saying to you, we have to look how we spend the money. If I get paid and go on Friday and go on Saturday and Friday night and Saturday night and spend up 80% of my money, how am I covering my family? You know, to support. How am I getting ahead in life? How do I have something for healthcare or anything like that? But this is what's going on in Trinidad. We have not been spending our money wisely. You know, and then you get these contractors that suck out the treasury. You know, the friends of the government.
Because Gary, if you want to privatize carnival, you know what people just get contracts, man? All them trucks just be with all them bands. All them trucks with all them bands. All them all-inclusive fare. All them all-inclusive bands. And it's real, it's millions upon millions of dollars people just make doing carnival. You know, it have carnival loans too. People just take loan for their carnival costume by credit union making money.
They get it faster than they get a loan to buy a house.
Oh, you mean you getting a carnival loan like nothing? So what it is that it's big business.
Carnival brings a lot of money into the treasury. There's no question about it. I mean, not just with Caribbean Airlines, but even all the other airlines, the departure taxes, the arrival fees, whatever taxes, whatever. There's a lot of money that comes in at carnival time. So we can't start a carnival.
Correct, Tommy. A lot of foreign direct investment too. A lot of US dollars coming into Trinidad doing carnival. A lot.
Yeah, I'm not against the culture. What I'm saying to you is that the cost on the government and the money being spent, right? And now we don't have money for healthcare. And right through those years, those money could have made a better healthcare structure for us. For many years, I've been trying to hint to both governments, both parties in power, that we needed to expand our medical resources, build more hospitals. I told them trouble was coming. I didn't know what kind of trouble it was. I didn't expect anything to this magnitude. But what I'm saying to you is, I had an instinct.
Gary, at this point, we have quite a few hospitals and health institutions in Trinidad. It's just you have to equip them and have them work efficiently. Nobody's saying that we don't have the facilities. You just have to make sure you have the beds and you have the resources, you have the human resources and the skill set.
The smallest spike in the equipment. Tell me the smallest spike in the country, the healthcare system is already overburdened. But before the COVID, the system was overburdened. You know, so what I'm saying is we have to think how we spending our money from here on. You know, Trinidad and Tobago has to make better decisions, especially with our healthcare system. Now the healthcare system is about to break. You know, so I mean, this is what I am looking at. But anyway, the common sense things to do: expand the quarantine, bring your people home, and if they are coming through quarantine, where's the threat? But then again, now that we have a situation here, go ahead.
Gary, if we say expand the quarantine, we know that's not going to work out. What we are saying is that if you have a negative PCR test and or if you are vaccinated and when you come in, you get a rapid test and you test negative, you can quarantine at home. It's not what the rest of the world is doing.
It's not matter if they have people stranded outside here. The government should put things in place. We haven't put anything in place in Barbados. We haven't put anything in place at JFK, New York. We haven't put anything in place in Toronto. We haven't put anything in place in Miami. So what we should be doing is preparing to test our own people. The results gone straight to Trinidad. You know, and we have the results there. They get down in the airport. They test them right there to double check, and you could go on quarantine, but they're not doing anything. But what I'm also saying is that if you're going straight into quarantine, there is no threat. There has not been no threat to the population. The big deal is that you close the airport and you have the whole fence line open.
Answer me that comment there for me.
Which one?
What? This one by Cindy somebody there.
Cindy J?
No,
Scotty Joe Field.
No, well, it's a back and forth between. Yeah, it's a back and forth between Cathy and Cindy.
Oh, but something if Cindy and Diana are not aware, what am I not aware of?
So what Cathy's talking about, we talking for that they're talking on, right? But the thing about it is they were more viciously ready to attack our people outside and tell them stay out there. There was quite a bit of people was attacking our people and attacking us for trying to bring them home. You know what I mean?
Who sent them there? Let them stay there.
I went through pure hell.
And
with this.
And you're still getting it up to now. Let them stay there.
I couldn't answer my broad back. Broad back. My back broad.
Yeah. When you're a trading and you're a pay them, you know, a man can't ride your back unless it bent, you know. Martin Luther King said that, you know.
Yeah, stand up straight.
A man can't ride your back unless it bent, boy.
I said put grease on your back too, yes?
Like a greasy pole, boy.
Yeah.
They would slide on. You know, the Archbishop getting to the fray too, you know. Look, the Archbishop.
Brothers and sisters, we're in the third wave and our third lockdown. Ask yourself one question. How many people do you know who have been in contact with somebody with COVID? Just ask that single question. I know of many people who have been in contact with somebody with COVID. And I hear all around me people who have been in contact with somebody with COVID. That's the only thing you need to become conscious of. Last year, at no time last year, did we know as many people who had COVID or were in contact with people with COVID. At no time last year did that happen. This is what is called community spread. And this goes viral really, really quickly. The numbers that we are seeing from the government is just the tip of an iceberg that has not yet emerged, because all those who are asymptomatic and don't know they have COVID, walking around okay, are passing and infecting it onto everyone. And then the new Brazilian strain that is here, that's another challenge that we have to face. This is a moment where we do the discipline thing, where we pull back, where we become our brothers and sisters' keeper. I'm begging you, I'm pleading you. Let's not meet with each other for dinners, for birthday parties, for anniversaries. Not at this moment. Let's hold for now and not do the social thing that we're accustomed to doing. Let's stay in our little bubbles and stay and keep each other safe. The truth is, nobody knows who has COVID. I don't know if I have it, you don't know if you have it. Let's act as if we have it and protect each other. And that's the best we can do to help our nation at this time. We've seen what happened to India. It blew up, and they had no oxygen, they have no beds, they have no hospital places, they have no ICU units for those who are critically ill. That's what we don't want to happen to us. The only way to do that is pull back, significantly pull back. And when we pull back, then we will see this wave peak, it will start to come back down, and we'll be okay again. Let's do what is safe, and let's keep our brothers and sisters safe in the midst of this pandemic. Thank you so much. The Lord be with you. May Almighty God bless you, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Let us go glorifying the Lord with our life.
Aslam, I'm glad you played that. You know, the Dalai Lama said love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive.
And of course, is what we need in Trinidad and Tobago today, but we need salvation, boy. We need salvation. We need to do some prayer up in here, boy. We need to pray. We need to bring a pastor up in here, boy. Pastor up in the village. Diana, you gotta write a pastor poem, boy. you gotta write a pastor poem. We need salvation in Trinidad and Tobago, boy. We need to change the spirit in Trinidad and Tobago, boy. I need to order some blue soap and send to Trinidad and Tobago. Blue soap. You know, they still have blue soap in Trinidad?
Yep.
All you know?
Yeah, and carbolic soap.
What kind of blue soap?
Carbolic.
Carbolic? What kind of soap is that? I never hear about that soap.
Life boy then.
Oh, okay. You took carbolic. What kind of? I got
It's
Bajan
not
soap.
carbolic.
I know.
I think that is a medicated soap and like you get sores and thing in your body.
Yeah, you use that.
No, we never used to get no sores in Chumaka. Wrong with all you? Sores.
Blue soap and everything.
Yeah, no. We never used to get no sores and thing in Chumaka. You're mad.
Kill germs. It kills germs. Any
You know,
kind of germs, yeah.
when mumps and all kind of thing was going wrong, mumps used to lump over Chumakak. Mum say, boy, me ain't going in Chumakak with all them hungry people.
You can't climb
Why
up the
going in
hill then?
Chumakak for?
They can't climb the hill.
Yeah. They can't climb up that hill. When you come up Chumakak hill, it's a big hill, you know. Diana never went up there. Gary never went up there.
No, I never went in Chumaka.
Neither Tommy never went up there either.
I had no
No,
calling
no,
in
no. Don't
Tumaka.
call Tommy. Tommy been everywhere.
You was up in Tumaka?
Let me tell you
I would
something.
get lost if I.
I used to go up to 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗵𝗏 Crescent. I had a friend living up there.
But they not Tumaka side, boy. What's wrong with you?
I used to listen to me. I used to go to Gonzales, the
They
𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗵𝗏
not
Crescent.
Tumaka.
Listen, I used to go all over. I try to
Wait,
tell
you
you, I used
ever
to
been
go
up in
all over.
Tumaka? Wait, tell me what 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗵𝗏 Crescent. I live over there too. Don't try to give
Like,
you a 6 for 9 day, Tommy. We go. I know Gonzales, Tumaka.
listen,
Admit like Diana, I never been to
no, I'm
Tumaka,
telling
man.
you
Gary
that
admitted.
I was all over, all over.
I
We
don't
never
know
know
if you
Chumaka.
put
We never
if
we didn't
you
know
put
Chumaka
me in
existed.
Chumaka, I would know I in Chumaka. I would be lost. But I know where Laventille Hill is. I know when I reach Morva. That is it. I don't know nothing else. I
But
don't
you
know
know,
nowhere else.
all of we have to make a journey to Chumaka. We have to make a pilgrimage to Chumaka, man.
Yeah, we
Chumaka is
have
where
to
the
go to
buildings are, right?
Chumaka.
Yeah. Where the 4 building is, and the 1 building was abandoned, was burned down in 2011 under Gary party, and it's
And
there. It's
the best access to it is off of Lady Young Road, no?
no Passy Street.
You
You could come.
confused outside, child. See, you
Yeah, I
somebody
tell him that,
outside,
you know.
child.
I tell him he don't know
You
Chumaka.
confused. You're
You want play big team like he
confusing.
go up Chumaka. You know what I mean?
No.
People,
Listen,
you know,
I go everywhere. I don't know the name everywhere, but I go everywhere.
people
I'm not afraid
afraid
to
to
go
go up
nowhere.
Chumaka. People afraid Chumaka. I get nothing, boy.
I from Gustin.
Afraid Chumaka
Gustin,
for.
Kirap, and Puna. Them is my stomping ground. I don't
I'm
know
middle
nothing
class
else.
community. I'm middle class community.
Middle
Yeah,
class.
I tried to join a club in Tanapuna when I was running. They asked me where I'm from. I said
Burnley.
Chumaka Claventil. They say you mad or?
Burnley. That
Oh
was
Lord.
Burnley.
Yeah, look, oh you know that. You see, oh you know that. Look at that. You see, I even call no name. Eh? Look. See, no, I tried to join Burnley, and they say where you from? Stupid me. I said I'm from Chumaka Claventil. They say come back. We go call you. They say we go call you. They never call me.
Oh
You see,
dear. Aren't they sorry now?
I tried to join Burnley. I tried to join Twin City Striders. I tried to join Abilene. Abilene was a big club in Arima. They say, where you from? I said, Chumaka Clavente. I was willing to travel all the way from Chumaka up to Arima. They say, where you from? I said, chupin me, Chumaka Clavente. me know nothing. They say, we go call you. I had to stand run for a club named Milo Shine from in Bath area. Right? I couldn't pass sour for no club. Once I pass sour to try to join any club, forget about it. You know what I mean? You see, Diana, I ain't saying nothing, and you call Burnley. Look at that.
But when we used to play, when I played field hockey at Tag, and then we had to butt up Tranquility Girls.
Yeah.
Them was a rough side, you know.
Oh, you look at that. I went Tranquility. You see how Diana is. I went Tranquility Government Secondary. You see Tommy and Gary. She grew up
That was
middle
a rough
class.
side,
I was
boy.
going away to the country. That was the only country.
She grew up
you was
prim
in
and proper.
Palo Seco. Yeah, we
Try
bounce
see.
up them
Proper.
tranquil girls, or we played netball, and the
Where
chest
Gary grew up
pass
in
the ball
Cuba?
too hard to me, fight break out.
Gary, you grew up in Cuba?
the Phantom cannot disclose that, bro. But now listen to me. I didn't have no club to join. The only thing I was in the Boy Scouts. You know, so that was the only opportunity I had. I was
Gary,
not part of
you wear your little brown outfit and your little badges.
Hey,
With the little curly hair.
I was involved in the jamboree, the 7 Caribbean jamboree, which was nice. You know,
So you remember 4-H club?
You know, not really, but
That was only in the middle class community, 4-H.
Oh God!
Yeah,
in our community, they had minus 4-H.
Hey, I was among people when they see me when they playing cricket and they see me coming, they mash up the game and go and run away.
But, Gary, what are you talking about? In Chumaka, right? Yeah. I used to own the ball, the bat, and the wicket.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
So, you know, when the game, I was the smallest one. So when the game start, if them say I'm out, and I don't think I'm out, I take my bat and I take my ball and I say, only keep the wicket. I say, only play cricket with just a wicket. And I take the ball and I go home. Game done. So I was able to control the bat.
What I used to do is take them, but they want to make me the 11th man to bat. I say, "Ooh, only crazy." I take the ball and I climb a tree. No
Tommy, what you used to do, Tommy?
here.
Tommy, what you used to do?
Play music all the time.
Oh, all right.
See, I tell you outside, child.
Yeah.
I was a full-time musician from small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary, how about you?
Outside and pitch marble and all that.
What you used to do? I used to control the bat and the ball in cricket.
Boy, I used to catch bird in the bush with them partners and them, yes. Catching robin and grassy.
Slingshot.
Hey, that type of robin you talking about, it was different up in 𝗪𝗏. you say you can't come to 𝗪𝗏 and say you get no robin.
Oh my God.
It was a little different.
All ever had a stew down pigeon with breadfruit?
Stew down pigeon?
Yeah, that was good. Stew down pigeon.
No.
Me ain't talking about these sickly pigeon running about here, you know. I talk about pigeon my brother used to, he feed them, they properly fed. And, ain't nothing in the house to eat. And I hungry as hell. I bust one of my brother pigeon.
You serious?
Yeah, I thought yeah. Poor fella, he looking for the pigeon. Poor fella, I can't tell you that I bust the throat.
Diana, you see? Diana eating middle class food pigeon.
And poor fella, he counted the pigeon at the end of the night. He said, but I only see 9.
One missing.
So,
something missing, So, folks, of course, it's in the village of the dark triplets and WZUN 95.9 FM. We want to say thank you to all those who joined us tonight. Kathy, thank you. Cindy J. We have 2 Cindy boys, Cindy J and Cindy Rampasan. We have nice feedback. Rose also was in the house. Charlene Ali joined us for the first time from California, Trinidad, boys. I think she living in California and she's from Trinidad. Joelle joined us.
California.
Yeah, we had Gary join us both places, Gary joined us in the chat and in the chat, boy. He on and in at the same time. Gayatri also joined us. Nessie joined us for the first time. Nessie, welcome. Welcome, of course. Rose, boy. Omar also joined us.
Speaking of Rose, I just want to mention Rose is willing to assist us with food supplies for the kids in Barbados. And she also offered to help the young lady up in 𝗪𝗏. So I'm trying to get somebody to pick up the supplies there, and we're trying to work something out with the shipment so that we could keep Shara supplied and sustained, not only with the students but anybody transitioning there. So we need help with shipment and working that out. So Rose is going to organize food supplies. As mentioned earlier, Zahil donated a hamper. And
Zahil, welcome, man. Thank you so much.
I got somebody to help us transport that stuff on Saturday. Deontay is going to help me with doing some transportation if he can work it out on Saturday. So we got some good things coming up. But everyone, let's keep in mind that Rose is willing to assist us with food supplies and even provision and stuff like that. She has a lot of gardening stuff. So we can help feed some people. She just needs help.
She has yams too? She has yam?
Well, I won't be surprised. She has quite a bit of stuff.
Okay. Takesha also joined us tonight. Don Julia, boy, joined us early o'clock, boy. Don, welcome for the first time. Early o'clock. Cindy joined us early too. Steve Trini Lopez out of Florida, boy, he joined us really early. Ooh, that thing went fast, kind of fast they were. Let me see who is this now. Of course, We have Patrina Walters just joined us, boy. Patrina, hi as well, and welcome, boy. So we want to thank all of you for joining us. And folks, the important thing now is for you to tell a friend for the things that we are trying to do here. And if you know anyone, whether that person is an exile or stranded citizen or someone in Trinidad who are facing difficulties and basically voiceless, right? We want to have them here in the village, you know, with the dark triplets and of course, Diana calling me outside child told me, right? So we want to get your message out there. That's part of what we want to do. We want this to be a humanitarian radio station for the voice of the voiceless. Just as how we continue this battle, this revolution for exile and stranded citizens. We want to take this revolution to our next step, you know, and battle for those in Trinidad. Just like the young lady who called in 2 days ago. Now she's getting assistance. You know, we can do this. We can do this, and it starts with us, and we are going to do this. So, folks, again, Patrina wants to know how you all doing. Patrina, I gotta tell you that most of us in here are doing fantabulous, and we welcome all of you that join us, you know, because you all have a part to play in this journey that we are on here at WZYE 95.9 FM. So again, I want to thank all those who are logged in, and Kathy, you as well. Amen to that answer. Yes, you know, we're gonna need people. We're gonna need people on the ground in Trinidad and Tobago, you know, because we all want to make a difference, and we are making a difference, and we're gonna continue this journey, and we need all of you all, every single one of you, you know, in order to be on this journey with us. And until that day, when the last exile and stranded citizen gets home on the end of the iguana tail, we're going to rise up and said, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Right? And that's what we are going to say.
Mission
right?
accomplished.
So, yeah. All the time. So here now. But you know, that's how the starting now. That's how that thing start off. You know what I said?
So here now.
So I did so here now, man, you know. And you know, it's funny. I just have my friends sending me back stuff now. And they just start with, so here now. You know? So here now, man, talk. And let me see if there's anything else quickly I want to get out before we go. Hold on a minute, let me see. Hold on. We had that, no vagrant. We had the yeah. I think that's about it. Let me see. Hold on 1 minute. Boy, you know, it's real thing that's going to this program, you know. Real thing, you know. Real thing, boy. All right. Yeah, I think that's about it for the night. So, folks, you know, again, we want to thank you all so much, so very kindly for joining us. You could have been many other places, you know, but you have decided here to join us, you know. They have a little fight going on in the chat. I believe we fight in the chat.
Well,
because we Trinidadians are very good, you know. We're very good. We're very, very good. And we're funny too bad, you know. You know, I don't think there's any people funny like Trinbagonians. Seriously. I think we are the funniest people, but we are lovely people. We are loving people. They say Trinidad and Tobago people are some of the most loving people in the world. In the world. And we continue to show that. And we want the people to show that through this pandemic. We want to show how loving we are, that we do love each other, and we're going to work hard to help each other. Right? So, you know, I forget. I think, Gary, you closed last time, right? Tommy, you go first.
Okay. I have a few little quotes here I want to go through. The first one is by
Tommy, before you go, Cindy J, if you're still in the chat, right, I want you to close the program tonight. So, Cindy J, write something in the chat, and you are going to close the program if you're still there. All right? So what we're going to do, we're going to allow our loyal people who are here with us to close the program as well, because we want you to be part of the program. We really and truly, we don't want this program to be like any ordinary other program. So Cindy J, write up something in the chat, and I'm going to read it, and you are going to close the program. Tommy, you go. But Tommy,
Push
wait now.
my
You
foot.
starting on Cindy closing, boy, because Cindy, you know, Cindy used to sell all them side things to you. That didn't support in the chat.
Oh. Anyway,
You
I'm
know.
starting with Eleanor Roosevelt. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. And then I'll go on to the Dalai Lama. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. This one is by Marilyn Robinson here now. You build upon your mind to make it into something you want to live with. And finally, integrity is doing the right thing, even if nobody is watching. And that's what I want out of my governance in Trinidad. I want them to do the right thing, even when nobody's watching. And the right thing is the right thing, and there's no right way to do a wrong thing. And they have been doing a lot of wrong and bandying it about us what is right. We need them to stop and do what's right, to eliminate the exemption process and stop the hate and the corruption and all the negativity that has brought to our land. Tonight, I want to thank everyone for giving us the time and putting up with us again for another session. Pleasant night.
Thank you. Cindy J, if you're still there, right, and you want to put something in the chat to close, can you please put something in the chat? Or Cindy J, you can call in 973-868-1444. We give you the opportunity to close the program tonight. All right. Go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for joining us tonight, and deeply appreciate the participation. We are here about our people, regardless of where they're located in the world. So, and I want to continue to build this humanitarian army, asking everyone to come on board with us so that we can meet the needs of our people and that they should not suffer. We need to connect the dots to the resources. So we need the help, like Rose is providing some supplies. We need the help with the transportation, simple things like that. That this continue to connect with each other and assist each other continuously. This is the Trinity Father saying good night.
Okay. I don't know if Cindy got my message. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna go there, Diana. You're gonna go, right?
Okay.
Okay. So this is a special message to Congress on the Internal Security of the United States, August the 8th, 1950, by Harry S. Truman. Once a government is committed to the principle of silencing the voice of opposition, it has only one way to go, and that is down the path of increasingly repressive measures until it becomes a source of terror to all its citizens and creates a country where everyone lives in fear. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall, stay down. That's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Thank you.
Okay. Khalil Gibran, he's one of my favorite poets. He said, "Anxiety has become the norm. It does not come from thinking about the future, but from wanting to control it. What will it take to overcome the pandemic? We have witnessed firsthand the intensity of the suffering caused by this COVID-19. The first priority in responding to an infectious disease is to save lives and protect the health and the well-being of current and future generations. COVID-19 is more than a health emergency. It is a societal crisis. This pandemic has revealed glaring disparities. In high-income countries, vaccine supplies are sufficient to provide for about 1 in 4 people on average. In low-income countries, this figure drops to 1 in 500. COVID-19 is not the last contagious pathogen that humanity will face. Whether the next pandemic can be prevented is up to us all. Success will depend on commitment from the global community to implement international health regulations, establishing how they should prepare for and respond to the cross-border transmission of pathogens and other health emergencies. Let us hope that they do not include locking out citizens, leaving them stranded, homeless, and at the mercy of God knows who. All countries should commit to sharing relevant information rapidly, confirming its reliability. A single cohesive strategy with a foundation of equity and fairness focus on ending the next pandemic as quickly as possible. I am urging everyone listening, viewing, to commit to doing their part to help curb the spread of COVID-19 in TNT and worldwide. Sanitize regularly. Wear your mask. Social distance. Listen to all Listen to all of us at WZYE. Stay in your house with your family. The virus is now ravaging the country. Corona ain't care who rich or poor. She just show up at anybody's front door. Do what you can to help curb the spread because we at WZYE don't want any more of you to end up dead. This is your favorite poet doing you auf Wiedersehen until we meet again. Good night.
And of course, Cindy J sent a message, so Cindy J is actually going to close the program. Cindy J says, just as my good friend 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗵𝗲 Diana told me and you answer them, all U.S. citizens, we will keep doing what we are doing to get all our stranded citizens home where they belong. Thank you so much, Cindy J. And what we're going to do, guys, if you don't remind me that we want to get, our people who participate in the program, we want to get them an opportunity to close the program. So we feel that, if we could make this a family, that we are all in this together, we're going to have disagreements. We got to agree to disagree because there's going to be times when we all are not going to agree on everything that we say. But we don't take it personal, and let's continue to build on this program and build on what we're trying to accomplish here. Right. And before I go, Patrina Walters, just send 𝗪𝗏𝗡𝗪, go to 𝗪𝗏𝗡𝗪 on Facebook. Anselm, ANSELM. Ladies just call me Handsome for short, but I haven't put it on Facebook. So I put my real name, Anselm Lee-Born. I see Diana shaking share. I know she's shaking share for. I'm telling
He's short, but I don't know about the handsome. But go ahead.
I's 5'9.5". What is that one? You telling people I'm short? Yeah, Patrina. Just go to Facebook, or go to WZYE TV, right? Or go to WZYE Radio and send me a message, on Facebook, and then I'll send you, the relevant information regarding the friendship. So, folks, thank you all for joining us again. And let me leave with this tonight. I'm gonna leave with
no money for that.
Yeah. I will leave with that one. No money for that. Mighty Sparrow. So, folks, again, it's always a pleasure. We have no money for that. Wherever that is, we have no money for that. Now, yeah, let me get this thing out of here. Hold on. All right, folks. Later.